be. Well, we thought winter had arrived yesterday at Optus Oval, but that was nothing compared to the rain that we've had in the last 24 hours and this morning here at Shell Stadium. Welcome around Australia and around Victoria. Live, Tony Shaw. The conditions we're going to see this afternoon, a bit like the good old days.
Yeah, they were a bit. It's pretty basic, Hutto. Get it, kick it long and kick it direct. And as we can see there, this was earlier this morning. Pretty ordinary conditions. I think one that you've got to try and keep your feet at the contest as much as possible.
Both sides have made important changes. We'll get to those in a moment. As you said, adapting to the conditions is important. Adelaide did that yesterday and they won the game against Carlton. A lot of pressure on both sides here today. The Kangaroos, of course, but also Geelong and their captain, Ben Graham. He got some criticism last week. Strange sort of criticism. David Swartz said he's a very good player, but I reckon he's a better forward than he is a defender. He's a bit loose.
Well, I don't know about being loose. I think he's one of the best centre-half backs in the competition. Benny Graham will put that away for the next time that those two play. It won't impact on today's game. He'd love good conditions, I would say, but gee, I tell you what, the length in his kicks could come very handy in these wet conditions.
Well, we talked about the changes in both sides as the Kangaroos come onto the ground. Neither side having banners. It's just too wet today, would you believe?
Yep.
But the important one for the Cats, James Rowley in, but Gary Hocking out.
Well, that's a big loss, isn't it? Because Gary Hocking's in and under. And I've just got Ronnie Burns here. He's a skilled player, and I wonder whether these wet conditions, he's been on fire, a very good goal kicker, whether they don't suit him. It's very hard. You have to second grab, third grab in these conditions. Mightn't suit Ronnie Burns at all today.
Well, I guess the question being asked of the Cats this afternoon, well, how will they adapt to the conditions? This was about 20 minutes ago. They were adapting by practising going in the water.
Well, I don't like that because, like I said, I think you've got to keep your feet. There'll be more contests at the ball. There'll be 1, 2, 3, and it normally comes the person who's outside the pack. The
Kangaroos, the pressure on them, as we said. They are an ageing list. Under Dennis Pagan, of course, they've never lost 4 matches in a row. I guess, is it an end of an era? Yeah, he's gone a certain philosophy, and that's with youth. He had 5 picks in the first 25 this year. Look, the core players over the last decade that he's really dependent upon, they're waning. So he had to do it. Whether it should have been done last year, it doesn't matter. He's made the decision now. Now these players have to finish off for him, maybe just for 1 more year. Well, understandably, Dennis Pagan wasn't too happy after last week's loss, the 3rd in a row to the Sydney Swans.
Yeah, we hit rock bottom. We're obviously all embarrassed with our efforts. We let ourselves down, we've let our supporters down, and we've let the jumper down. And we're all in this together. Well, we're not good in the one-on-one situation. We've been thrashed around the packs. I think probably individuals are getting to the stage now where they're under that much pressure that they're starting to just look after themselves, and it's about we've got to do something to change the psyche of the team.
So Tuesday night he ordered match practice. Yeah, I think it'd happen. The side that's under a bit of pump, but that normally happens with coaches who are under pressure. It won't hurt them, you know, getting a bit of physicality in training when you don't lose players through injury. That's all right. They'll come out pretty hard today. I think the conditions will suit the Kangaroos. They normally kick the ball long and they're pretty direct, so those conditions no doubt will suit. Well, Hocking out for Geelong, and for the Kangaroos, we suspect just a selection change, really, with Sav Rocker going out of the side, and he's been replaced by Jess Sinclair, and Mick Martin coming back into the team. Yeah, well, Mickey Martin, it'll be great. The conditions suit him. He just kicks the ball long anyway, Hutto. But I was interested in Matthew Burton's playing. Sav Rocker, no doubt, because of the conditions, didn't suit him. Matthew Burton, I don't think it'd suit him either, so I thought he might have been a late change also, but he's in the side. He's got to do his job now against a very good player in Stephen King. What a day it is for Lee Colbert, coming back to Shell Stadium for the first time since he left, of course, in controversial circumstances. Maybe the rain might help. There won't be as many people close to the fence to throw out those insults. And young Corey Jones playing his first game. We wish him the best of luck this afternoon for the Kangaroos. The Cats and the Roos after the break from Shell Stadium.
Back now towards half-forward where Ablett comes out and takes the mark. If he kicks it quickly, he's kicking into an open square. Bright's dropping back in there now. Here comes the long kick. It's a great kick for goal. Boxes it over the centre. Ablett up high. It's a glorious mark. Spell in the third term. Gets the handball away to Ablett. 5 goals, Gary Ablett. Look at that one. Oh, he threaded it. What a great left-foot running goal.
Any excuse to show Gary Ablett is a good one. 8 goals from the great man back in 1985 against the North Melbourne side as they were then. It's a vastly different scenario this afternoon, though, at Shell Stadium. At one stage, there was even talk the match might be called off because of the water on the surface. Ian Robertson, good afternoon and welcome to you. Conditions do seem to have improved a bit out there, though.
Yes, the rain has abated ever so slightly, but the weather forecast is very, very ordinary for this afternoon. So I think the boys will just have to do the best they can with what they're confronted with.
down in amongst it all, really relishing being down on the wing this afternoon. The Dougie Hawkins wing. G'day, Dougie.
G'day, Hutto. Yeah, conditions absolutely fantastic for football down here. If you are a fish, let me tell you. No, there's a lot of water on the ground, very seriously. There's plenty of water down here. I think, Hutto, we saw yesterday down at Optus Oval where Carlton, I think, overused the football by their handball and tried to finesse in these conditions. And I heard Tony Shaw say, get the ball on your boot as quick as you can and push the ball forward at the best. There goes my umbrella, the best you can, because, mate, it is very hard down here. Thursday night, I did tip the catch, but in these conditions with Stevens, Martin, of course, King in the side, I tipped the Kangaroos today in a very, very low-scoring game, about 5 goals each, I reckon. Thanks, boys.
Thanks, Dougie. I get the feeling he's making his way up into the grandstand. Well, Wayne Carey, I wonder what sort of impact he can have this afternoon. He's going to full forward, and guess who's alongside him? Ben Graham, Corey McCoonan, also inside the 50 with Tom Harley alongside him. So the Kangaroos putting their 2 prime forwards in the prime positions. We're underway. And, well, King and Burton nullifying Harrison. Been a very good shining light for them so far this year. Already a big pack of players. The ball not really going that far along the ground, then only just went over the boundary line.
You know what will be in single figures? Very likely to be in single figures. Overhead marks by the respective teams.
Well, we saw yesterday that the mark tally inside 50 was phenomenally small from both sides. That was Sanderson. Mickey Martin back in the team, playing well up the ground. Gets one high, perhaps, from Spriggs. No. Cat's able to get it forward through Houlihan, who does play well in the wet generally, so he started on the ground. Martin copying it from the Geelong players. Of course, he's come back from a hamstring, multiple hamstring problems.
Spriggs has given him a bit of a belt on 2 occasions.
Well, there's only 2 players inside the Geelong 50 and 2 players inside the Kangaroos 50. Geelong with a chance. Ling coming into the team and starting on the ground. Blakey, we're going to see plenty of those chest marks today.
Well, John Blakey's played in all conditions over a span of many, many years, and he wastes no time with this kick either in putting the Geelong last line. Oh, what a good mark. Now, that was an excellent mark by Ben Graham.
Geelong player down.
The kick by Blakey covered well in excess of 50 metres, but Ben Graham judged it beautifully through the air and has marked just behind the half-back line. So he'll kick it outside his defensive 50. Didn't quite get onto it. Well done by Murphy, and Murphy has marked. So contrary to what I said a few moments ago, 2 overhead marks in succession there. Ben Graham and Justin Murphy dragged down when he didn't have anywhere near the control of the ball with Stevens for the Kangaroos, and he will take the free kick behind the centre bounce area. Tries the torpedo punt kick, gets the ball all the way to half forward. Contest there. Scarlett taken to the ground. Sanderson for the Cats. Kicks it out wide. Awkward ball out there. And Bizzle, was he dragged down when he didn't have it?
50.
Umpire's going to penalise the Kangaroos and give them a 50-metre penalty on top of that.
That's a big penalty on those occasions, and we see how Archer was just too strong at the contest. No doubt about the free kick. And Byron Pickett comes in, picks the ball up, and then just drops it. So it is 50 metres. A lot of torpedoes will be kicked today just to get an extra distance.
Well, they've tried a couple, but I think the worrying part of it at the moment is the players just getting that foot that they're standing on when they kick the ball to have some sort of stability. They're slipping and sliding in that as well.
You might as well go straight to the goals. You don't need to kick out wide in these conditions. Just you've got to get distance and accuracy towards goal.
So just had a quick look at the Geelong bench. It's a goal. It's a goal to Geelong. Kicked by Houlihan.
Well, the Cats for the opening goal. Dennis Pagan on the phone. Adam Houlihan was the man that turned a game against Collingwood for Geelong last year in a wet day at the MCG. He's kicked the first goal. The Cats trying to go forward again. Martin versus Mitchell White. Well done by Mitchell White. And really sends it long. Colbert, no doubt will get the hoots of the crowd when he goes near it. Archer. Just scrappy stuff, isn't it? Really tough. Bizzle. Ling in there. See plenty of ball up this afternoon. There's Lee Colbert. I wonder how he is feeling this afternoon. Burton getting it down. Ling around the body. There he is.
Who's got the ball?
Yeah. So Colbert just bangs it and goes for the torp. It's a good kick. Scholl, though, in good position. Does the safe thing, takes the chest mark, goes for a short pass. Well done by Spriggs. He also goes for a small, low pass. Martin not paid the mark. Archer in support. Clever kick. Couple of Kangaroos. Scarlett comes in over the top to try and lock it up. Cochrane was on the bottom. King doing the shepherding. This is Murphy. Bizzle will come from behind. It won't get there. Ling. Another free kick picked out, and it goes to Cameron Ling, who looks to be handling the conditions pretty well so far for a big man, although that kick obviously not too good. Stevens lost it. Mitchell White out to Ling again. Got through, did well to get onto the boot. Bizzle provided a contest against Pickett. No marks a certainty today. No ball handling is a certainty. So you have to just keep attacking all day. McKernan pushing back. Riccardi. Well done, McKernan off the ground. Scholl. Gee, handled that really well. And took them on. Inspired stuff from Brad Scholl. Out to Spriggs. Oh, we're going to see plenty of those today. The water terrible over there. Good tackle on Burt. No, it wasn't a good tackle. Or was it off the ball?
Well, I think you were right, Ian Robinson. Just said, no doubt this was just dropping the ball. I don't think it was in the back.
No, I think it's gone to Harvey for the incident behind the play.
Gee, the other thing, Tony, is going to be, in these conditions, normally you can expect the ball to slip and slide through, but because there's so much water on the ground, sometimes it's hitting the water and stopping dead.
And the other thing also is that the players who go into the pack will not be the ones who win the ball. If you stay out, and I know it's not great for football, but you stay out, you'll win the ball because it will slide to you.
Just a quick snippet there of the Kangaroos bench. I noted that Sinclair, Jones, Clayton and Brady Rawlings took their place on the bench for the Kangaroos.
And Robbo, for the Cats, we have Joel Corey, Jason Mooney, James Rahili and Corey Enright. And believe it or not, boys, even in these conditions, I reckon there's probably a 2 or 3 goal advantage going the Kangaroos' way.
Yes, you could see the flags blowing above the RJ Hickey stand, and they're certainly got some pressure behind them going down to that left-hand end of screen. Geelong getting a fair use of the ball. This time it's kicked forward by King. Oh, Scholl. Took the mark, but umpire deems that there was an infringement there. He was lucky he never got penalised the way through the ball back too, high in the air, but
unfortunately it went straight to Shannon Grant.
Umpire ignoring that. Colbert will get the boos and jeers once again. He's taken the mark. David Mitch minding that mark, and Colbert goes for the big torpedo punt kick. It wobbles through the air awkwardly, knocked away by Carey from Graham, running onto it Harvey, couldn't control it. Carey pushes it forward, and it is out of bounds in the left forward pocket for the Kangaroos.
Just an interesting, Tom Harley also has gone to McKernan. They're pretty big in their forward line, I believe, Kangaroos. They might change one of those talls and take one out and put a small into their forward line.
Well, they got their first good opportunity here to try and score a goal. Across the face from Shannon Grant. And we'll do it all again on the other side.
It's a game of inches today.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it is. It's going to be a fascinating battle in a different sort of way. I really enjoyed the Adelaide-Carlton game yesterday. There was certainly no fancy chipping the ball around. There's no room for that sort of play on a day like yesterday, and indeed on a day like today. David King, that was whipping through, fires away quickly, and I think he's missed. Another behind. Well, another behind. I think all behinds count today. So 1 for the Kangaroos, 6 for the Cats, and we've still got 13 or so minutes in this first quarter. We've been playing about 10 minutes so far in the opening term.
And Ben Graham with the football. Aren't the supporters a hardy lot? Oh. They just get out there in these atrocious conditions and barrack on regardless. Carey stands his ground. Well done. Hard to displace the physique of Wayne Carey, but he controlled the ball beautifully, kept his eye right on it. Bizzle was there for Geelong. Carey bombs it in towards the goal front. Off the ground. First goal of the Kangaroos. And it's been kicked by Watt.
I wonder, Tony, if there's almost a case for a goalkeeper today, just to stop all the ones that get kicked along the ground. Because it seems that could be the best method of scoring.
Well, I think the Geelong sides thought, well, this win might be worth 3 or 4 goals, so they've pushed Brenton Sanderson back as a loose man in defence.
Harley pushing up, got the kick forward. Here's Mickey Martin. Oh, charging through Mickey, took them on, and it was a pretty good kick. Harris couldn't hold on to it. There he is again, Harris. Did really well to get on the boot. Now, they've got the numbers, the Kangaroos. Well done, Ben Graham. Made this spoil. Simpson went off the ground. Graham's had a bit of trouble getting distance on his kicks. That was a better one. Gets it out towards the boundary. And Spriggs, that was silly. And he's very lucky to get away with it. I mean, a small push in the back today is going to be accentuated, isn't it? Look at this. It wasn't much of a push, but he certainly went with it.
Gave one earlier against the Kangaroos for exactly the same.
Exactly. Milburn getting it forward. Martin again.
Strong.
Yep, barges his way through. Onto the wing. King pushed off it. This is Shannon Grant now. Oh, he scooped it out. Umpire was on the scene, didn't pay it. Here's Carey. 3 Geelong players going to Carey. And they took him out. Crowd liked it.
That's the best mates, isn't it? Brad Scholl and Wayne Carey.
Yeah.
If he was getting married again, I don't think Brad Scholl would get an invitation this time.
I think Robbo was best man in his wedding, wasn't he?
I'm sure he was involved, Dougie.
Well, in that instance, even if he made a little bit of contact, Wayne Carey should have been penalised there because he did not go the ball at all. Even any contact should have been penalised.
Again, the scrap for it. Simpson, Murphy, Kilpatrick. It's quite extraordinary. That seems to be the worst out on that wing, doesn't it? That's where it seems to be the wettest. Over to you, Robbo.
Yes, it's...
how about we make an agreement? You can call the outside, I'll call the rest.
It is interesting, isn't it? And we could have struck probably 2 more contrasting sets of jumpers, which might have made it a little easier too. We've got the
good point.
Blue and white horizontals and the blue and white diagonals, of course, or the unfortunately. But anyway, we'll be with you for the rest of the afternoon, and hopefully it'll be an entertaining game. 1 goal Geelong, 1-1 the Kangaroos. The goal for the Kangaroos to Shannon Watt and Adam Houlihan, and both of them off the ground.
Well, you're thinking of just packing up and going home, were you, Robbo?
Well, it's going to be few and far between the scoring opportunities, quite obviously. And Mickey Martin, Mitchell White is going to earn his stripes today, I would think, playing on Mickey Martin. Martin very strong, 4 possessions already, hard to displace, strong physically. Boundary throw in, left half forward for Geelong. King through his legs. Martin and Blakey. Plenty of games played between those two. Kick forward again by the Cats. Good mark, well done. That's Makepeace across that half-back line for the Kangaroos. Doesn't quite get the distance, but nearly the mark taken there by McKernan. That would have done his confidence a lot of good if he could have been able to grab that. McCartney thumps it forward. Now the bouncing ball. Carey is still a chance. Knocks it clear, but too far. Bizzle was there. Now it's gathered here by Milburn. Milburn can't quite get the kick effectively away, but in the end, not too bad. Kick forward for Geelong by David Clark. Now Pickett a chance. Clark is there for the Cats as well. A struggle for a clean possession. Scarlett, White, and eventually taken over was Clark. And the ball will be thrown in right half forward for Geelong.
I don't know whether Dougie can hear us, but Daniel Harris came off the ground then. I wonder if he was hurt or not, because he's been pretty good.
He looked okay, sure, not a problem there. He's just having a bit of a breather, mate. And young Jess Sinclair's come on for his first run. He looks okay, sure. He's coming back on now, matter of fact.
Don't forget i7sport.com.au for all the latest information, maybe the latest weather forecast here from Shell Stadium. And Harris coming back on, as we said.
Would that be a coach's instruction to the young fella?
He might have had something that had to be retaped or something like that, so only took a couple of minutes.
He's running with Murphy at the moment. Meantime, play goes on of sorts. Archer. Well done, Spriggs. He's having trouble kicking the ball, but he's certainly getting it. Bench. McCartney, Blakey. Harley versus McKernan. Good spoil from Harley, but Burton.
Well done, Spider.
It was well done. Murphy. Well, they can't afford to do too many backward handballs today. Scholl deciding not to give it off to Benny Graham. For that reason, probably. Spriggs against Harvey. Spriggs went to ground. That was the reverse of the one before. Now David King with some pace against Milburn. He's got Carey to his left. He's got Shannon Grant support. He doesn't need them. He does it on his own. Oh, virtuoso performance from David King.
Umpire prepared to throw the ball in the air, and you would think would continue to do so for the rest of the day. Stevens for the Kangaroos kicks it to half forward. Ball spills to the back. McKernan gathers, but the umpire's found a free kick. It will go to Geelong. Looks like it might be Brad Scholl, who's started pretty well. Goes out wide, and the mark will be taken here by Spriggs. Scholl has had 6 kicks already. Spriggs to half forward. Well done. Well done. Flatten the hand, stop the ball from going through, and then maybe you get a second chance at it. Colbert has got it. Third possession for Lee Colbert. Started well last week against the Swans, but faded badly. Chance for Sanderson. Kicks it out of the congested area. And now high in the air was King. Goes back after it again. Knocked away. Ronnie Burns at the fall of the ball. Harris overruns it. Burns to knock it forward. Only as far as Stevens. He would relish these conditions, I would think. Anthony Stevens. Well played by Milburn. Could see that his player was not going to mark the ball. Took it away and then gathered. Kicks the ball wide. Struggle, Makepeace and Ling. 2 of the youngsters. Well done, Makepeace. Got back into the contest. McCartney to the front of the pack. Mensch to provide pressure. Still, it's Colbert there for the Kangaroos. And eventually Riccardi will get a kick away across his right shoulder, but cleanly marked at half-back by Blakey.
Well, they're switching play.
No one to kick to.
No, it won't necessarily help on a day like today. Harvey onto the wing. Milburn got a shove in the back. Umpire missed it. Crowd didn't. Going back is Sanderson now. He kicks it high, very high. Pickett underneath it. Oh, McKernan, that's a great grab.
You see anything about McKernan early? I think he's attacking the ball fairly positively.
Very good. We just see a little push in the back by David King to Milburn. Could have been paid. Yeah, he has attacked the ball very well early in the game, Robbo.
Spriggs against Carey. Well done. Good hands. Well gathered by Scholl. Went it too far and really should have got rid of it sooner. Can't afford to hang on to it for too long today. Now, Riccardi's going to go back here. Depends which way the ball slides. And it really does seem that different areas of the ground are carrying more water than other areas, and I know it's difficult for the players to adjust to that, but they might learn to by the end of the game.
I just wonder at half-back, Lee Colbert and Mick Martin are doing a great job, whether they should be taken to the square and bring someone else up, because they're failing to get through that area of the ground, the Cats, at the moment.
So 14 plays 6. Kangaroos lead by 8. They probably need at least one more goal in this first term, which has got 6 3/4 minutes left. A free kick has been picked out, and it will go to Anthony Stevens. Quickly onto his left boot. Oh, in the goal square on his own. 2 Geelong players were there, but reading the flight of the ball better than both was Brent Harvey, and he's marked safely on his chest. You can see the 10-metre square just there in the foreground.
Well, that was great running by Brent Harvey, because he kicked the ball out of defence probably 2 minutes ago to get up there, and it looked like the captain, Benny Graham, and also Brenton Sanderson just missed him. They didn't see him behind him.
They were worried about Carey.
Yeah.
They were looking at each other, and they weren't worried about Harvey.
So Harvey, if he can keep his footing here, should kick a goal. Hits the post. Well, it is difficult. There's no doubt that kicking the ball is going to be one of the greatest concerns. We're watching the concentration levels, which aren't bad. He hooked it a little.
Well, he tilted the ball over, Robbo, didn't it? So it was going to go offline. It tilted forward in the kicking.
Well gathered by Shannon Grant. Give them another chance in front of goal. Geelong have got to work their kick-ins out. They haven't been able to so far. That's terrific defence. Sanderson, he goes to the top. And I think that's just the best way of doing it. If you kick the middle of the ball, it will actually travel further, Shore, today.
Well, I can't believe that Benny Graham is not just kicking the ball down the centre and trying to keep it tapping on. You'll get the ball to centre half forward in one kick. Don't worry about kicking it out to the flanks now. It makes it harder for yourself.
Jones has come onto the ground, the young fellow, taking the place of Shannon Watt for the Kangaroos.
20-year-old from Witchy-Proof originally. Came through the Bendigo Pioneers and then went to Sturt before being drafted by the Kangaroos.
Looked like Brent Harvey saw too. He's just looked over to the bench and he's limping behind play. You just see him, 29, you can see him looking at the bench there, saying, I've hurt my leg.
So the Kangaroos hitting back well here in very wet conditions. Cats kicked the opening goal through Adam Houlihan, and since then it's been all the Kangaroos. 2-3-15 their total score. Kilpatrick over it. Harris. Sanderson.
Jory, I think early in this quarter, mate, you mentioned the fact that the Kangaroos have a fairly tall forward line with McKernan and, of course, Carey down there now. What? So the move's been made with young Corey Jones coming on the forward flank.
And McKernan's pushed up for a lot of the time, hasn't he? So it's left it pretty open down there.
Have you seen which way the umpires have gone with the holding the ball decisions at the moment? It's very hard in these conditions. They either call it straight away, they say you pull it in, or you're out, or they don't. They let it play on or ball it up.
You would think they'd be a bit more sympathetic, wouldn't you, today? That's a great tap from Burton under the conditions. Harvey getting a fair bit of treatment if he had an injury. Won't be any better after that collision. Blakey underneath it. Ling to spoil. Harris. Again, like rugby, they had the runners out the back ready to take it from the back of the scrum and run away.
He's a player of the future, Daniel Harris. Oh, isn't he? He's just been a bit stiff in this first term, apart from that was where Brent Harvey went down and maybe hurt himself. But, gee, young Harris, he's been in there with about 4 or 5 chances and not able to effectively get the ball out. We're watching now Kilpatrick, and gets a reasonably... Oh, good mark. Terrific mark to Blakey. Looks to play on, got past Minch, and then straightens up, and then kicks long, albeit a wobbly one. Well done. The mark taken by Grant, a free kick. Shepherding off the ball against McKernan, and the free kick will go to Tom Harley. Harley goes wide. Graham, maybe a little bit of dryness, if there's such a thing today, for Ben Graham. He got the ball to Scarlett. Scarlett's kick is onto the chest of Archer. So they'll come bouncing back. Promising attack there by the Cats, and the ball in the hands of Glenn Archer at full back.
And Archer, safety first. Beautiful torp onto the wing. Kilpatrick. Stevens just right there with him to worry it out of him. And it's out of bounds.
I just wonder whether, Robbo, there's no use to lead in these conditions. It's better to get back as far as you can and maybe let the ball be kicked on your head, because your opponent won't go with you in these conditions, and it's very hard to pinpoint a pass.
And get the crummers down around it somewhere there with an opportunity maybe to just squeeze a goal, because the goals are so precious.
Scholl. Here's Big Spider. I tell you what, he's doing a pretty good job, Big Spider, in the conditions. Graham made the spoil. Scarlett. Not much time for little handballs, but that time was to try and get them out of defence. Simpson. Well done to Byron Pickett.
Go for the goals.
Carey looming. You've got to wonder about going too wide to the half-forward line, don't you, on a day like today? Well done.
The thing was, Hutto, that Byron Pickett was probably at the forward end of the square, and the way they've been kicking the ball, as Tony said just a minute ago, as soon as he kicks it there, there's a half a chance that you can squeeze one with the ball bouncing awkwardly off the pack.
No doubt about that.
McKernan off, we just saw on screen there. Murphy. Oh, he had to handball, and there was all Kangaroos lurking around. King into the square again.
It's a goal.
It's a great kick. Oh, he's kicked 2 sensational goals.
So that's the vital goal that the Kangaroos would have been searching for. Anything from now would be a bonus. They must stop Geelong from scoring, of course, but 3 goals, 3 to a goal. They lead by 15 points. Spriggs kicks it forward. The mark was taken by Makepeace.
Done a great job, hasn't he?
He looks quite comfortable too. Makepeace thumps it towards the wing, and again the extra meterage that it gathered once it got past the players. Kick off the ground. Brilliant gather by the captain. Carey kicks it goalwards. Is this going to roll through? Oh, 4 goals have all rolled through. Wayne Carey has kicked his first goal, and the Kangaroos, look, their fans, they've come down the highway, shocking conditions, shocking driving conditions, but they've stood up to it. That player was Jones who got the ball to Carey.
Well, it's not just the goal, it's the pickup in wet weather. Just shows the sign of a champion. And then onto the non-preferred foot, onto his left side, 1 step, and again kicked in a direct line to goal. Gee, 4 goals in this kind of weather, even with the breeze behind them, is a great start.
Well, Minch on the bench. I come back to my point, which I made almost half joking at the start, Shorey, about having a goalkeeper. If you have someone in the square, every kick so far has gone through at ground level, and on a wet day like today, maybe a play up the ground's not going to be missed as much because there's so many players around the ball.
And maybe also, like you say, with the Kangaroos kicking with the breeze, Geelong can then release a player there.
Cole, again, getting the hoots. He's worked out how to kick this wet ball. Don't worry about that. Carey's looking dangerous. And a ball up.
I just reckon, Shuri, in this second quarter, mate, don't be surprised that Wayne Carey goes the centre-half back or plays that loose man behind the play with 3 goals in front.
Yeah, well thought out, Dougie.
Like
he does it well as a loose
to,
man.
Dougie. At
Thanks,
the Western
boys.
Oval. 4-3.
Spider for the blood rule.
Is it?
I think a fingernail may have just snapped there on the big Spider.
Well, it's a big, well, it wasn't a move by the coaching staff, of course, but he's been in very good form. I thought I wouldn't have even played him today, these conditions, but gee, he's done well. He's got his hands on it first up, and even at ground level, he hasn't looked out of it as McKernan comes on.
He's had 5 possessions, and his opposite number, Stephen King's had 2.
Colbert's had 6.
Yeah. Spriggs has had 8 for Geelong. Scholes had 8. Sanderson 7. There's Simpson. Gee, the small men have done a great job. Harvey bombs away for another one and misses to the right. Gee, that could have been a match-winning lead if he had have kicked that one.
That's a set play. If we could see the replay of that, they do that all the time. Adam Simpson's the 3rd man up, and he punches the ball at throw-ins or ball-ups over the ruckman. So very well thought out. Here it is here. Does it all the time. So if you're his man, you've got to stop him getting to the contest.
Well, Graham went the torp that time. Got past Carey for the moment. Now he's well wrapped up, but here's Colbert again for another possession. Graham made the spoil. Oh, Kilpatrick, that could have been loose. Grant, great hands. Simpson into the square. Scarlett, pressure. Didn't try and take the mark. Free kick.
Kangaroos off the ball, away from the marking contest.
Gee, those decisions are more costly than ever on a day like today, aren't they? Let's have a look, see if we can see it.
Shepherding him away from it.
Yeah, good decision. Good. There's not a lot of that's done away from the ball, and the umpires don't catch it enough. And that was a good decision in these conditions. Now, he's got to take his time here, Brent Harvey, which he's doing. As you can see, he could have got to the contest. And I think it was Milburn.
Yeah,
yes.
it was Milburn.
Stopped him from getting there. So this is a big goal, 5 goals with this breeze. And he's taking plenty of time, which he has to do.
So Harvey, as we said, 3 behinds until now. He's kicked that one okay. What a corner by the Roos.
Gee, even then, if we have another look at Harvey being shepherded away from the contest by Milburn, there wasn't much understanding because Matthew Scarlett, who was in the finish, was on his own.
Yeah.
Didn't understand that he was there to take the mark and went to knock the ball through. And what we're watching, of course, there was the umpire setting Brent Harvey up in front of goal, from which he kicked the Kangaroos' 5th goal. They lead 5-4 to a goal.
As you can see, Spider Burton's got a band-aid on that finger. But just one thing, when you do shepherd like that, you've got to make out that you're going for the mark or getting involved in the contest. Milburn didn't.
Well, would you believe Geelong has had only 1 possession inside 50 this quarter.
And a goal.
And it was a goal. That's very efficient.
Umpires found a free kick here. It will go to the Cats. Might be the defender in Harley who will take the free kick. Gets under it a little bit, but you can see the breeze. I mean, the conditions are difficult. The rain, the water lying on the ground, but also there's a strong breeze blowing at the back of the Kangaroos, and Geelong would be happy that that siren is sounded because the signs were rather ominous. The Kangaroos played very, very well there to get 5-4 to a goal. They kicked probably 3 goals late in the term to give them that comfortable situation of 5-4-34 to 1 goal, 6 points.
Yes, great quarter by the Roos. They lead 5-4 to 1 straight. Brent Harvey missed 3 shots at goal. The 4th one went through, and he's a very happy boy. The Kangaroos are all pretty happy at quarter time. They've done a great job. They had the win in the first quarter, but the conditions here are unbelievable. This is Wayne Carey's left footer from almost on 50, a magnificent kick, and he got the ball just to skid on and slide through for another one. And so the Kangaroos 5-4-34, leading Geelong 1 straight 6.
The AFL, in association with its premier partner, Carlton and United, proudly presents the 2001 Premiership season.
Well, there is another game today at the MCG between Hawthorn and Melbourne, and most stations are taking a replay of that game. So if you don't want to know the score, then look away now. Let's go down to Dougie.
Yeah, thanks, Hutto. Terrific start here for the Kangaroos. No doubt Dennis Pagan would have said to the players, as we saw in that first quarter, with probably a 2 or 3 goal breeze, kick the ball nice and long and get in your forward line very quickly. A great start. Their back line to the Kangaroos been terrific, all over, a matter of fact, but well led by Lee Colbert, and their smaller tight players have been terrific. For the Cats in their second quarter, got to open your forward line up, and don't be surprised with a 4-goal lead that Wayne Carey goes back and beats that loose man in that back line. But a great start for the Kangaroos, and it still is raining here. Thanks, Hutto.
Thanks, Dougie. I think that's Carey still in attack, isn't it? We've seen Mooney going onto the Geelong.
David King is a loose man, Hutto, in the Kangaroos' defence.
Thanks, Shaw.
Sorry, Hutto.
So it'd be very interesting to see just what impact the wind has on this second quarter. Good tap from King. Riccardi. Cats kicked the first, the Kangaroos kicked the next 5 in the first quarter. Ling, and underneath it, Burns. Houlihan, again, he kicked the first one, got the ball moving forward. And here's the loose man we've talked about, David King. His opposite number, Stephen, making the spoil there. Spriggs removed Stevens from the contest, but then lost it. Cochrane's handball went nowhere. Gee, Ling taking a long time with it.
That was in slow-mo on that occasion,
wasn't it? Yeah.
I just wonder, Robbo, do you go and put your man down on King, and even, I know it might clog your forward line up, at least you get a contest, and it looks like it's happening now with Milburn pushing forward?
Yeah, just at the far side of the top of the picture, you can't quite see it, but Milburn is certainly drifting down, and just a little bit of confusion at the moment. Young Jones, not quite sure, but he's going to pick up Milburn. So still the Kangaroos have got a couple extra in that defensive 50, Burton and David King. Cochrane, McCartney, now Murphy. Burton's underneath this. Burton's underneath it. Couldn't quite take the mark. Ronnie Burns. Oh, strong play by Archer. Comes back to Mitchell White. Left foot snapshot. That's a great kick. That's equally as good as Carey's in the first term.
Well, the Cats will be fired up after that goal. Mitchell White certainly pumping the arms. With Mickey Martin looking after him. King got the tap down. Mooney came charging through. Got a free kick. Advantage, not paid. Riccardi took it away, and he's kicked a massive one. Doesn't really matter. Again, we saw the wind take it all the way down to hit the fence.
When we talk about getting the ball in quickly, how do you see the ruck contest if the ball happens to sit for, say, Stephen King in this first term, to bash it clear?
Yeah, I think distance. As long as you can get the ball running your way and everybody who comes onto the ball keeps the momentum going, that means that you've got a chance of kicking the ball forward. I think Spider Burton's done a great job. Like I said before the game, I mightn't have played him today, just the conditions.
Well, Mooney is usually a big kick of the ball. That one went a little bit off the side of the boot. Makepeace been terrific with his ball handling so far. Stevens. Yeah, Ronnie Burns has had just the one possession so far, which was, in fact, no possessions. Just had the one tackle. See the Kangaroos bench, Rawlings, Sinclair, Harris and Watt. Daniel Harris, 2 possessions in the first quarter, but was right in amongst the action. Burton over the top. Ling has looked pretty good today. Just had too much carry on. Is that a mark? Not a mark. Gee, I thought Harvey had a fair bit of it. Now the umpire's going to have to bounce it. Let's have a look. Oh. It was maybe shared, and he didn't really control it, I suppose, did he?
The young Cameron Ling, he's looked pretty good in the conditions. Also one grab.
Yep. He's had 7 possessions, in fact. Here's Colbert. Well tackled by King. The crowd obviously didn't realise who had the ball then. There wasn't enough booze on that occasion.
Well, the Cats want to split this now. They want to spread out and try and get a fair bit of space. Take your man to the square or bring him up the ground. Release the congestion.
Mooney. Kilpatrick. Kicked away by Harvey. Harley probably had time to pick that up then. it's hard to criticise because we have said that, you know, kicking off the ground is a pretty good tactic today.
I tell you what, sure, there's not many forward players for the Kangaroos at the moment, is there, inside 50?
Nah, they're all pushing back because of the wind, Dougie.
How about inside their forward half of the ground, Doug?
No one's there, is there? It's unbelievable.
I think they must be trying to get warm down in the action. And Simpson, Blakey dispossessed. And Houlihan on the fringes there, trying to just crumb the ball out of that rugby-type scrum that was created. And that is exactly what we were talking about.
That's an open forward line, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's what Pagan's paddock, try and kick it into space and run onto it.
Ruck contest, King gets first hand to it. Gathered by Kilpatrick, over his left shoulder. Awkward bouncing ball. Getting back was Mooney. But there's 2 or 3 experienced campaigners back there for the Kangaroos. Carey is even in his defensive half. Well marked by Pickett, close to ground level, just outside the defensive 50. From his point of view, he will go short, and the mark is taken by McKernan. 5-4-34 to Geelong 2 straight. Margin is 22 points in favour of the Kangaroos. A chance here for Geelong. Mark taken by Mooney. And he's well within scoring range. The only concern, well, his only concern would be this footing that he has to make sure he gets hold of.
Well, Corey McKernan didn't clear well enough, didn't have enough depth on the kick, and then Matthew Scarlett just gets one step and bangs it with that breeze behind him. It goes another 15, 20 metres.
So this is Jason Mooney, as distinct from brother Cameron, who was picked as one of the emergencies. The kick by Mooney has missed to the right. So the first behind on the scoreboard for Geelong, 2-1-13 to 5-4-34. David Bench having a chat with the coach.
David King with the footy. Cameron Mooney played in the Geelong VFL team, which won here against the Murray Kangaroos, which is the Kangaroos reserve side in dramatic circumstances. Here's Ronnie Burns, his first kick of the day. He makes it count.
Well, you'd think with the ball pretty much at ground level that Ronnie Burns will have something to say. It's taken him well over a quarter to get his first touch and his first goal, but there's a fair way to go in this match. And Geelong again, Mooney, he's had an impact. He's looking for Burns, and Burns has got it. He can play on and get another one. He can get another one. No, he's missed. He should have kicked that. Not many easier chances will come the way of Ronnie Burns, you wouldn't think.
No, should have made the most of that. Probably could have run in a little bit further with protection there. No pressure at all. Maybe off 1 or 2 steps, and yeah, leant over to the side as he kicked the ball, which meant the ball come off the side of the boot. Cameron Mooney's, Jason Mooney's, had a good last couple of 5 minutes, been pretty strong at centre forward.
Yeah, he's had an impact, hasn't he?
David King kicks the ball in and taken at the back of the pack by Harley.
Oh.
Now Tom, have it all over again, and I'm sure you'd do better than that. Left foot kick, looked as if he was trying to put it across his boot to get it around to the, maybe closer to the centre half forward position. Very, very unsuccessful, to say the least, out of bounds on the full free kick to David King. The ball holding up, and Minch. Yeah, well done, Mark Thompson. The instructions have worked straight away. Back onto the ground, Mark, and kick to Minch. Goes goalwards. Mark taken by King. They should have made a little bit more of a contest there.
Well, that was a free kick against the Makepeace for shepherding off. It happened in the first quarter, and Harvey got a goal for it. But Ronnie Burns was shepherded off the ball there by 5 metres.
Well, they just have to make a contest up forward, isn't it, Robbo? Exactly as you said. And Spriggs out of bounds. Because, you know, it might only be 1 against 3, but if you make a contest on a day like today, they're not certain of getting the mark, are they?
Well, if it comes to ground, it's disputed. You can get a foot on it, and it can result in a goal.
That was the problem, though. He couldn't get to the contest because of the shepherd.
5-4 to 3-2. Kangaroos under a bit of pressure at this second quarter. Free kick for hanging on, going to McKernan.
It's Andrew Coates, the umpire in that area of the ground, with Justin Schmidt and Kieran Nichols officiating.
David King broke to the other side, but McKernan was having none of switching the play. Probably the right decision. Sanderson made the spoil there. Martin. This is Spriggs. Scholl. They had Ben Graham in the middle of the ground. Instead, he bombed to centre half forward. Archer takes the mark.
No one to go to yet.
Oh, that's a silly bit of play by Milburn. should know better than that.
And then he goes and disputes.
Well, the umpire never called play on. That's the problem. If he calls play on before he does this, it's all right. But the umpire never called play on, so it's a 50-metre penalty.
Well, Milburn will argue that he went off his line, but as you said, he hadn't called it.
No.
So, on a day like today, 50 metres is...
2 kicks.
Yeah, very, very important. And Archie's been roosting some big torps, and that is a beauty. Right down towards full forward. Big fly. No mark down there.
I'll tell you what, that was a great effort.
Nearly a mark to the
Colbert,
Kangaroos player.
No, it's not Colbert. It's
Mitch, isn't it?
No, I think it's Shannon Watt.
Shannon Watt.
Just that great kick from Archer then put him under a lot of pressure, didn't it? You know, if it was 10 metres out to the side, you're not under as much pressure.
So now it's the Kangaroos deep in attack. Mitch, well done. Clearing kick. No, it won't clear the area. Blakey. He's going the torp as well, right off the side of the boot. Harvey in best position to mark. They all fall down except this man, Shannon Grant. And he can line up for goal.
You'd have a ball out there today.
No, well...
You would. You'd know exactly where the ball... especially going to that end of the ground. I mean, you've got to be in front,
You've got to be in
That's
front. And you don't have to lead at the ball like that showed. You just kick the ball high, and smart players watch the ball like that. Everybody thinks it's going to go a little bit further. They worry about what's around them instead of saying, well, keep your eye on the ball, and you're a chance, even as a small player, to take a mark.
Huge kick, this one for the Kangaroos, for Shannon Grant. He made the distance without a problem, but he's missed it, and so the Roos go to 5-5-35. Geelong at 3-2-20.
I was just thinking David King's the loose man in defence. He's not going to be very tired for the third quarter. He'd be a very dangerous player in the third quarter, I'd say, David King.
12.5 minutes left in the first half, and Graham goes to the far side. Perhaps the ideal ploy there would have been straight down the ground. Pickett gathers. Jones. Might have been Jones that nearly took that spectacular mark at half forward a few moments ago. Grant and Scholl watch the ball just trundle over. You can see there, 12 minutes left. And the Kangaroos lead by 15 points.
And the Kangaroos have got 2 loose men now, Simpson and also King in defence.
Well, they're trying to force the issue. You would think they've got the ball inside their forward 50. They don't want it to come out, but it may here through Brad Scholl. Kicks a wobbly old punt kick back towards the middle. Kick forward by McCartney. Just an absolute mongrel punt kick. Kilpatrick back there. Now a chance for Scarlett. He can run away. Just backed himself and shrugged the tackle. Kicked it down towards the wing. Martin missed it. King is there for the Kangaroos. Gets the handball back to Simpson. The 2 players mentioned by Tony Shaw a moment ago as playing loose. Dropping the ball there was Colbert. Ball spills out. Carey backs himself, runs away from Ling, and then disciplined, kicks the ball to the front of the goals. It goes through. Byron Pickett has kicked the behind. Gee, that would have been a precious, an absolute precious score if he could have capitalised on that, Byron Pickett. 5-6 to 3-2. Margin is 16 points. A long kick, but it's to no one in particular. And back there for the Kangaroos is Adam Simpson. Kicks it in towards half forward. Riccardi can't get into the play. Peter Riccardi with 5 possessions. Ball out towards Harley. Now Riccardi steadies. Kicks it towards the wing. Mitchell White and Adam Simpson there. Ball over for a throw-in.
Well, it's unlikely. I know the Kangaroos had a couple of shots on goal, but they've got to get some players back on those loose men. You might kick a goal that way, but with 2 or 3 players back, you just don't look like scoring. You've got to make a contest at least at the end of this quarter.
Geelong employing 3 ruckmen, looked like at that boundary throw-in. It just seems that when a team gets it into attack, it's very difficult because there's so many players from both teams in that whole area. It's very difficult for the other team to move it down the ground.
Well, now the Kangaroos have got 3. Wayne Carey's pushed back, Brent Harvey, and also Adam Simpson.
Carey's got to be careful that his immediate opponent, Graham, doesn't get the ball anywhere near the forward end of the square.
Well, that's why Graham should push back onto him. Go forward and play as a forward, because if you mark it from 50, here's a chance of kicking a goal. You've got to put yourself in a dangerous position.
Cats bringing Spriggs off the ground. Meantime, Kilpatrick taking it forward. And one of those loose men, Adam Simpson, taking the mark. The Kangaroos holding on to this 16-point lead, and they'd be delighted to go into half-time, you would think, with a lead of something around this amount. And as we said, difficult to clear an area in these conditions. Harvey.
14th possession for
Yeah,
Harvey.
he's been very good. And it's out of bounds. Free kick. Free kick.
I'll tell you what, Shorey, it's okay to bang the ball long in your forward line, Geelong. You're still going to use the ball when North Melbourne have 2 loose players down there.
Yep, that was Mooney who kicked it long. Ronnie Burns. And the ball slides over the line and out of bounds. And later on tonight, you can log on to i7sport.com.au. There's always a member of the Channel 7 commentary team in the chat room from 7:30 on Sunday nights. And all the latest info too on AFL, the wrap, the ladder. And the result of this game. And at the moment, the Kangaroos are leading. And they've got a chance to move into attack here. Harvey got Carey in support, but nothing but vacant space ahead of him. So he went for the boundary line. And we're on the drier side of the ground now. So I think Kilpatrick's limping for Geelong.
Murphy, who started well, has been quiet.
He's in trouble, Kilpatrick's coming from the ground straight away, boys.
Enright looks like he might come on. Kilpatrick goes back on the ground limping because the replacement wasn't ready, which is a pretty ordinary situation for Geelong to find themselves in. Now Raleigh comes onto the ground, quick kick, downfield.
Well, I just thought that was a normal bump in play, that. We'll have a look at it. He's just run straight out in the kicks. How late? You can't do anything about that in wet conditions. Not a great decision on that occasion, I don't think.
Clayton takes it. Into a big contest of players. The spoil on Stevens was pretty good. McCartney gains some more ground for the Kangaroos. Harley. Oh, he kept it in. Did very well to get that one away. Houlihan couldn't take it. McCartney did well. Minch has to bend right down here. Make sure of it. Oh, he's gone. Oh, that's holding the ball. I don't care if that's wet weather or not.
Well, he threw it.
He threw it, exactly. Ling, clearing kick.
I tell you what, the Kangaroos across that half-back line have played a sensational 5 minutes. Adam Simpson, David King, and on that occasion it was Blakey. Oh, there's a Geelong player down. Ling. A kick towards half-forward. Harley, get rid of it quick. Sanderson, handball indiscriminately out wide. Graham will gather. Graham can thump this, can put it right into the forward half. Didn't quite get onto it. Watch it bounce. No. Adam Simpson attacked it with a lot of positive mental attitude there. Going to the ground for Geelong. Burns gets the ball out wide. Murphy gathers, kicks over his left shoulder. No one home there. Blakey drops the mark. Blakey back into the action, and the umpire will ball it up about 40 metres from the Geelong goal.
I just wonder whether Peter Riccardi, because he kicks the ball so well, might push forward, because Stuart Cochrane has done a great job in tagging him so far. We look at Riccardi, he's had 3 possessions.
And there's the inside 50s. Here's Burns. He's got Clark behind him. Tries to use him. It was just too wet and sloggy for Clark. That was interference. Free kick to Adam Simpson.
Stevens off the ground, replaced by Rawlings and Stevens looking very ordinary as he came off.
Short kick from Simpson, trying to get it moving. Cochrane with the mark. Onto the wing. Free kick going Geelong's way. Well, the Cats certainly have to push forward and make sure they have numbers, don't they, at centre-half forward, because at the moment the Kangaroos' extra numbers are just stonewalling the Cats. Even behind this play, there's another 3 Kangaroos players. So Geelong get the ball now and they have nowhere to really go. Blakey back into trouble. Well tackled, Stephen King.
Well, it means you mightn't have, well, Geelong mightn't have anybody in their defence, but at least you might be a chance of kicking a goal at the moment when 2 or 3, as we can see, Anthony Stevens looks like he's getting a rub on a calf or a thigh muscle there.
And when they've got the win, they obviously need to score goals if they're going to win this match. Milburn right over the top of it. Archer, King. He's another one of those loose men.
See, the other thing, just a moment ago, Mensch had the ball on the wing, and he went for that big torpedo punt kick. If it doesn't get some sort of area between centre-half forward and full forward, it's dropped into this area where we've had 3 or 4 boundary throw-ins.
Well, Burton again getting first hands. Martin, Archer, well tackled. Burns. Oh, he took them on, came through the pack. Sanderson uses the left foot of Graham. He just looped it into the square, and well touched by Carey.
What about the skills of Ronnie Burns on that occasion? One grab off the ground. Here he is. Going to be tackled in a lot of congestion. Oh, that's a rugby throw.
That's fantastic.
Oh, dear me. Well, wet conditions, you can get away with that sort of stuff. But
Graham, did he have a chance to straighten up here?
a bit of pressure comes on it. You can just see it coming across his body, so he probably didn't. But his man punched the ball through for a point, Wayne Carey.
Yeah, Shane Clayton, I think it may have been, that came in off the left there. We're watching the Geelong bench where Glenn Kilpatrick came off the ground and was attended to by the medical staff. Gathered by Harley, taken to the ground by Clayton. A kick away there by Blakey will be marked by his opposite number 12 in Brad Scholl. Scholl's had a fair bit of the footy coming up for kick number 10. Would really enjoy these conditions. Kicks it to the danger area, right in front of goal. Trying to hack it out of there was Houlihan. Mooney looking for some sort of advantage from the umpire, not forthcoming.
Just on that occasion when the two Kangaroos players have gone in late over the ball, you have to be smart enough not to do it yourself if you're a Cats man. Just stand up, hold the jumper and put your hand up and get the notice of the umpires that maybe it should be holding the ball.
King doing the ruck work. What can they manufacture out of this? A kick off the ground, finishes with Cochrane. He's dispossessed. Mooney, Rawlings, still a chance. Down goes Clark. And a real scramble right in front of the Geelong goal, about 35 metres directly in front.
They have looked more dangerous, haven't they, now that they've pushed everybody forward? You know, they're just a chance. If you just keep the ball moving, you get one big a snap-on goal, and hopefully it will convert for you.
Burton got the tap. Raleigh, who was a late change into the side for Gary Hocking. Scholl was touched off the boot. Bangs it back in. Milburn to provide the contest. Who's going to hit it at ground level? Corey. He's got pressure from Clayton. He went to ground, Joel Corey, and he couldn't get a clean handball away to a teammate. So the Kangaroos a chance here on the counter-attack. If you can counter-attack in these conditions, perhaps you can. McKernan. Sanderson, McKernan. This is Jess Sinclair. He was a late change for Rocker. Now he's blasted it down there, and there's no one there. Scarlett had Bradshaw in the middle of the ground, who he didn't use. And I think perhaps even though it's a bit dangerous to be switching play on a day like today, that was a chance when he probably could have done it. It's out of bounds.
Just watching here, boys. Glenn Kilpatrick looks like it may be a left ankle. And Anthony Stevens now have a jog around the boundary. It appears he's left ankle as well.
Clark off and Spriggs back on for the Cats. Margin 15 points.
Yeah, David Clark, he's struggled a little bit in these conditions. Very much an inexperienced campaigner and probably wouldn't have played a lot of football in the conditions prevailing today. Just 3 possessions to David Clark. Now Carey trying to mind the mark with diligence. The Geelong fans looking for a penalty. Graham plays on, finds Scholl. Scholl close to the boundary line, and Spriggs. Well, there's not much percentage in that. You've got to be very, very good to get in underneath that and control it.
I'm interested that Spriggs was off the ground because he's had, 10 possessions, and that was early in the first quarter, matter of fact. Spent a lot of the second quarter on the bench.
Boundary throw in. King gets first hand to it. Underneath that is Ling. The 245s, Ling and Cochrane, into the action. The umpire will ball it up on centre wing.
Robbo, Corey Enright on for his first run for the Cats, gone to a half-forward flank.
Okay, thanks, Doug. As we watch the umpire, just prepared to throw it in the air.
Archer coming through, gets it onto the boot. It's a pretty open line. Carey, was he held? The umpire thought so. He's paid the free to Wayne Carey. Oh, lovely dive. There might have been some hanging on before that we didn't quite see. That's a great kick from Carey. And Shannon Grant takes the mark. And he missed one that was a little bit easier than this earlier on, but he may have learned a lesson, learned just how to hold the footy. I'll tell you what, if he kicks this goal, sure, they are in a great position, the Kangaroos.
Exactly. Just very good here. Just held it. He's pretty good wet weather player, long sleeves. But I think that was a free kick to Wayne Carey, Hutto. You're a bit hard on that decision. A little bit of bias coming out there, was there or not?
Not at all. Call it as I see it, Shorey. Shannon Grant kicks the goal. Great kick. Fantastic kick.
Brad Scholl copping a bit of his own there, I'm sure, from Shannon Grant. Shannon Grant letting him know that, the goal was scored. Murphy gets the handball away. Mooney. And eventually Harley kicks the ball forward for Geelong. Contest at half forward. Scholl just fronted beautifully there by, is it Anthony Stevens back on the ground for the Kangaroos? He looked as though he was in a lot of trouble with a leg injury. His knee now pretty heavily strapped. Ruck contest, King, Ling, still Ling, get it to King. Keep going, yes, into the forward pocket. Where's Ming? He's not on the ground.
Ding-a-ling.
Anyway, Mitchell White there for Geelong. All the time that they've fought so valiantly for that 5 or 6 or 7, 8 minutes, and then the Kangaroos going forward, a bit of class with Carey and Grant, and it's all undone. I mean, they don't capitalise, do they? The Cats controlling the football for a certain amount of this term, not able to get the score on the board. Now, there's
Robbo, I watched this.
Shepherding.
Ronnie Burns was going at makepeace, and you're right, Cameron Ling came away from the contest and shepherded off for Ronnie Burns. Good decision by the umpire.
Well, one of the advantages of having the three of them, I guess, that one being able to watch what goes on off the football. And there's a pack of 4 or 5 players not able to clear, so the umpire will ball it up. Only a minute and a half left in the quarter. Kangaroos 6-6, Geelong 3-3. 21 points is the advantage that is enjoyed presently by the Kangaroos. And Corey not able to do much with that.
Peter Riccardi, 6 possessions. I just wonder whether, like I said, they can put him into the 50 zone, because if he takes a mark, he'll kick a goal from even 50 in these conditions with the wind behind him. He's not getting the ball in midfield at the moment.
Yeah, a lot of players to the left of this contest, not many to the right of it. That's the ball heading towards the Geelong forward line. Well kicked by Corey, and that is a mark. And the mark is taken down there by Corey Enright. And he just bombs away. Went with the torp. Well, if you want to have a goalkeeper, there's no better man than Spider Burton to be playing in the goals. So Geelong 3-4 and the Kangaroos 6-6.
Oh, no, I think Shorey's delivered the cream today. What's that? Spiders don't go in the wet.
King kicked it in. Got distance, Mensch. Cats have only got just under half a minute to try and get another goal before half-time. You'd think it'd be pretty difficult, but now they're in attack. And Riccardi couldn't hang on to it.
Just look back to the first quarter and whether the Cats didn't have a loose man in defence or a number of, and they might rue that now at the end of the day.
Spider Burton and King. This will be the last thrust forward of the quarter. Burns couldn't hang on to it. Mooney trying to charge through, got it out. Burns, still Burns. King threw it out. King again, lost it, and the boundary line, I think, was crossed. Crowd didn't think so.
No.
Let's have a look. I think it was.
Oh,
no, maybe it wasn't. Last couple of seconds of the half, and it's been a great half by the Kangaroos. Free kick from the throw-in to Jason Mooney against Glenn Archer, and he can't believe it. There was 2 seconds on the clock, and that's it there.
Yeah.
That's it there. Well spotted.
However small, it was there, wasn't it?
Yep.
Gee, it's a dirty free kick, isn't it? I mean, in a game where, I don't know.
Well, there was the jumper was pulled away,
Look,
Robbo.
I understand the technical side of it.
I see what you're saying.
But gee whiz, Tony, you'd be paying another 30 free kicks during the day.
The
if
proportions
you the
this kick takes on now, though.
So important.
He's close to the man on the mark, and he's missed it. He has. Oh, it came back. It came back. Not enough. 3-5-23. Jason Mooney's smiling.
He couldn't believe it.
Let's have another look at this kick.
Well, it looked like it was going to miss all the way, didn't it? It swung back in and hit the inside of the post.
Yeah.
That was counted as a goal in rugby league.
Yeah. 6-6-42 then the Kangaroos. And they've done a terrific job. The Cats a lot of work to do in the conditions at 3-5-23 at half-time. Well, it was the opening quarter, wasn't it, from the Kangaroos after Geelong kicked the first goal that has set up this lead at half-time. The Cats had the breeze in the second term, but they could only manage 2 goals 5. So the Kangaroos in front at half-time. A pretty interesting match ahead here from Shell Stadium. And another very interesting match taking place. That's at the MCG between Hawthorn and Melbourne. Let's check some highlights of the first half.
Tumbles the ball forward. Neitz thought he had it, then dropped the ball. Hay. Neitz still good enough to get a kick away. Here's a chance. Farmer, that was clever play. Back to Rigoni. This is bending back. They're going to kick a goal. Green. Pachoni. They just juggled it around a bit. Tony Woods pumps the ball long. Getting back was Ingerson. Chance for Lord. Dangerous player under these conditions. And he has kicked a goal. Just belts the ball back inside the centre square. Now, Hawthorn fans thought that was a free kick to Dixon. He did well. Pachoni's going to kick it off the ground.
2-on-1.
This could open up. Taken by Barker. Runs into the open goal. He's got two. You can see by the clean appearance, he's just come off the interchange bench. Rigoni pumps the ball inside 50. It's within 30 metres of goal. Kicked off the ground by Uze. It's going to go through. He's kicked the goal.
Well, a replay of that game coming up for some stations. So, if you don't want to know the score, now's your chance to look away.
Well, I get rattled every time we meet. I get rattled even in my...
So, a couple of interesting games being played around Victoria this afternoon. We'll take a break and come back with more from Shell Stadium. Welcome back to Shell Stadium. The Kangaroos leading by 19 points at half-time against Geelong. Well, there's been a lot of controversy in footy in the last few weeks, and Robert Walls has been at the centre of a lot of it. And a lot of it relates to a video coming out produced by Robert Dixon and the Players Association. It's called A Passion to Play. Let's have a preview of some of the video that's been causing all the controversy.
One thing about football that you can never underestimate, no matter where you go or what you do on the training track or on the football field, it can never be predictable. Whether you like it or not, there's some things that you have to do that you don't want to do, and there's other things that you want to do that you can't do.
I've seen some fairly bizarre things in footy, but the Shane Stremple incident was an amazing incident because I've never actually seen a guy put through that much of a session.
His application to his training was nowhere near what was required. I don't think he looked after himself with what he ate and drank, and we were starting to get a group of players who were doing the right thing. So I was angry with him because he was just not giving to his teammates. I felt he was letting his teammates down. And this happened for quite a while, and in the end I had a gutful.
I think Wallsy liked to think he was tough and fair, but sometimes he used to go over the top.
And I thought, well, I knew the players were dirty on him. I was dirty on him. And I thought, well, I think it's time we got a little bit back on him.
Robert Walls has called the players in and said, jog a lap. Told one of the guys to grab the bag of boxing gloves, meet you across the other side of the oval. I thought, what's going on here? I twigged a little bit, the boxing gloves. I thought I was going to have a bit of a session here.
This certain night, there was 8 blokes picked out to basically teach young Stremple a lesson.
We pulled the boxing gloves out, we made a big circle, and we put Stremple in the middle of the circle, and we let him go around with one player, and then drop that player out, and then we put another player in to go another round. And
what do? I mean, you're 21, senior coach tells you to do something, so you have to do it. You have to follow what the coach says.
I remember the first couple of guys who've come out, and Shane wasn't too bad. He was about 6'5", and he's throwing a few, and he's looking all right.
Non-stop, no break in between, and each round was against a newer, bigger, fitter, stronger opponent.
I think Matty Kennedy was another one as well. He was in here, and if anyone's seen Matty box, then you know, even 1 minute with Matty would be enough for one bloke.
Okay, you've got 3 minutes with him in the ring, and basically in a ring. It was just a round circle, all the players just there. And the players were encouraging Matty Kennedy on, because it was sort of like, well, for every hit that you hit him, Matty, well, that's one saying, well, you shouldn't have had that drink.
Hollywood didn't like this bloke at all, Hollywood O'Brien, and he went in there full bore and tried to give him as much pain as he could, and you know, he really started to feel sorry for him and thought maybe it was a little bit overdone.
Next 2 minutes round, next up.
Just see everyone's face change. Like, the longer it went on, the less the people wanted to step in. They realised enough was enough. But obviously the person in charge didn't.
Poor Stremple had copped a fair bit, and he was having trouble keeping his arms up, even protecting himself at this stage.
Just one at a time, we've just gone through him. Just absolutely hammered him. He had his teeth were getting chipped off, and he had saliva going everywhere and a little bit of claret.
I think the players felt he got what he deserved, and that was a bit of a belting.
I can recall Brad Hardy walking over to him. He was the last one to go, and said, "Rob, you've got to call it off because you'll kill the boy."
And it was mainly done to let him know that, hey, you are letting us down. We don't respect what you're doing, and maybe you are only going to learn the hard way. I don't know if it had an effect on him.
Well, what I learned from that, I lost all respect for Robert Walls as a person, as a coach. I thought, well, stuff you, Wallsy, and he obviously wasn't going to get the best out of me after that incident.
He's had a big couple of weeks, Robert Walls, hasn't he, Short? What do you make of that? I mean, we judge things now on previous events with different standards, don't we, 10 years on? What do you make of it?
Yeah, different standards. I don't condone it, and I think Robert regrets it now. But, look, I think it was blown out of all proportion. Brad Hardy came out, and he was the one quoted to say, "Don't go on, you'll kill him." And he came out yesterday and said all he meant was he's getting very tired. Now, you can have a player on the field as a coach and the opposition player's got 9 possessions, you say, "Oh, he's killing us." So it was just a matter of words. And as I said, Robert regrets it, but I don't condone that type of thing.
What's the toughest thing or something similar that you've had either done to you at training or seen done at training?
Well, if you were trained under Tommy Hafey in the early days, we had training sessions like that, one-on-one for an hour and a half sometimes on Tuesday nights. A lot harder than 20 minutes of that. And on a lighter note, like, what happens if the person who was being hit was better than the hitters? You might have had 6 other people being injured. So, yeah, it is a light note, but it was blown out of all proportion. And as Robert has said, he did regret the incident.
Well, that's the passion to play that is coming up on 7, but the video will be released tomorrow. We'll take a break and come back. The Cats with the job ahead of them. The Kangaroos leading by 19 points at Shell Stadium. Well, the weather hasn't really improved much. We're about to start the third quarter here at Shell Stadium. 6:42 the Kangaroos, 3:5:23 Geelong. Let's go down to Dougie Hawkins on the boundary line with his umbrella.
I just lost my umbrella here. Hello, this is, thank you all very much. Yes, I made a still rain, as you can see here. Looks like the Kangaroos boys have changed their jumpers. Geelong haven't. I'm sticking with the Kangaroos. Don't be surprised that Mark Thompson gets 2 or 3 loose plays down in their back line. Thanks, mate.
Mary Poppins himself. 6-6 to 3-5 then, third quarter from Shell Stadium. Burton again got the tap. Many would have expected King to be the dominant player. Well played, Milburn, to get up there in that situation. No one was coming at him. Enright out-bustled by Glenn Archer. So the Kangaroos with the breeze in this quarter. Dropped a bit short. Stevens played in front of his man. Takes the mark. The Cats have got 1 extra man back in Peter Riccardi, who's playing behind the full pack. Carey was charging. Mark's built by Raleigh. Well done by Scholl. Smallest man versus the biggest man there. Oh, what was Mooney doing? He's trying to claim the mark, was he? I'm not sure. Kicks it forward. Makepeace against Burns. Burns went to ground. Well done, Makepeace, though. Got it on Sinclair. Couldn't handle it as he would have liked, but he got the kick away. Well done. Stevens to centre half forward. Another contest. Sanderson was the spoiler. Corey to Scholl. Back to the middle. The ball is a bit fresher at the moment, and of course in pretty good condition at the start of the quarter. This is Enright. Open Geelong forward line. He had to get it moving down to Minch quickly. It won't go that far. Mitchell White. No free kick. The crowd wanted one for over the shoulder. King playing it back. And a beautiful kick away by McCartney. Harris just couldn't handle it. Sanderson got the arms loose. Got the handball off to Corey. Again, he kicks it forward. More Kangaroos than Cats. And Mickey Martin with the relieving mark.
You really have to take advantage now of these new uniforms that they've put on after half-time and the new ball.
And the new ball, yeah. You can see they're getting a bit more distance into the wind, Robbo.
So the football in the arms of Wayne Carey out there on centre wing. No mud, just no mud anywhere. Just water, heavy water all over the ground, making it difficult for the players. And that tackle by Ben Graham on Jess Sinclair.
Gee, it looks high, didn't it?
Most Kangaroo fans would have thought that should have been a free kick. A solid bump coming in there from Kilpatrick, and the umpire has decided to allow the boundary umpire to throw it in.
They've got to try and manufacture a goal, don't they?
Yeah, my word.
And we can see here, I thought, no doubt that was over the neck by Ben Graham. I don't know how the umpire missed that.
So that play was allowed to go on, and this play is allowed to go on as Corey gets it forward for Mooney.
As I said, they've got to try and kick a goal against the Breeds. That's why I think they would only drop one man loose in defence. They can't afford any more. I know you've got to try and stop them scoring, but you won't win the game if they kick 3 goals anyway.
Well, it's man on man down there now.
Ronnie Burns not able to break away. Archer effecting a good tackle. And Sinclair, careful, Ronnie. I think that's a bit over-officious, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you don't want to give free kicks away. It's undisciplined too. You don't want to even get in that area because you've just lost 30 yards.
Well, that's
which
true,
is all important in these conditions.
But I think they're adult men, and surely something like come in and say, like, there's nothing in that.
Well, you're not allowed to push
Sinclair made it.
You're not allowed to touch anybody in the face, Robbo. Again, it's technical, but not allowed.
Well, players allowed to go on here from the ball up, and the mark is taken here by King. I just detect that the Kangaroos are prepared to try and do something a little bit more skillful in these conditions than maybe Geelong, like taking a good mark, kicking the ball to the advantage of a teammate. Even a few little hand passes are hitting their target a bit better. This is a little bit better build-up. Spriggs receiving from Enright. The ball in the middle of the ground. Simpson hit his target quite nicely. Colbert under pressure. Byron Pickett not able to control the football. And Sanderson got the hand pass away. It's going to come back to Brenton Sanderson. And it may have been against Carey, was it? Because the way the Geelong fans are indicating.
Good play. Yeah, it's in the back to Brenton Sanderson from the King.
He goes the torp. It doesn't cover much ground. Colbert deciding not to take the mark. King, what am I talking about? Graham lands the ball at centre-half forward. Burns almost accidentally took the mark. Makepeace. Mensch was there. Pickett coming through with momentum up. King wrapped up.
This is a chance.
Here is Kilpatrick. He might go for home. He didn't get it anywhere near enough on it into the breeze. And they'll probably learn from that. Harvey, Blakey. Got a couple of Kangaroo players on the wing. One of them Simpson, the other one Martin. Low kick. Spriggs in front. Couldn't take it. Had back up in Sanderson. The Cats will get out of it. Clever play there by David King to try and wrap up Mitchell White. Milburn over the top, close to the line. And so out of bounds.
It's interesting. The Kangaroos have had 33 marks to 17 from Geelong. So whether they've used it a bit shorter, and like you say, Robbo, they might be trying to use their skills a little bit better or getting a free man.
Well, generally speaking, the skill level is tested in these conditions.
I think the reason they've got so many marks is their defensive players who have been loose have done it better than the Geelong players when they've been loose. They've marked the ball hell of a lot one out by themselves, and Geelong haven't done that as good in the game.
Fair enough. Boundary throw in. Big punch from Colbert, gathered by Murphy. Well tackled by Sinclair. Ling was nearly a chance. Kick forward by Spriggs. And they make something out of this. Letting it bounce was Enright. Was that out on the full? No. Enright appealing for a free kick, but boundary umpire will throw it in about 65 metres around from the Geelong goal. Harris warming the bench and trying to stay warm, I would suggest. Just miserable day all over Victoria, I would suggest, and there'd be a lot of people down here that have got to go back up that highway, and good luck, because there was a lot of rain on the highway coming down before the match, and the rain has not stopped. Burton trying to get it clear. Ling is there. He can't break away, and it will be balled up once again.
The use of Byron Pickett today has been interesting. He hasn't played as a small defender today. He's nearly played on a wing or a midfield role.
Just going to say there, Shorey, sorry, mate, the wind certainly has dropped here a bit. Probably only probably a goal favouring the Kangaroos at this stage.
That's the first free kick we've seen for that all day. That's correct, I'd say.
Got to remain consistent.
Colbert got it moving quickly. Simpson takes the mark. So the ball at half back for the Kangaroos. Geelong still not playing an extra man back in defence. Scarlett made the spoil.
I think their most important thing is what Tony said. They've got to score.
Yep.
I mean, you can bottle this up, and then all of a sudden the Kangaroos kick 2 goals, They go in at
The
three-quarter
game's
time,
gone.
8-3, don't they? And
Yep.
it becomes an insurmountable task.
Well, they've pushed a couple back from the contest now. The kick away from Simpson. Graham was in front. He would have thought about backing himself in and running on. The man breaking to the outer side is Harley, so both sides being prepared to go a little shorter in this third quarter than we saw earlier in the game. And Harley dragged down, kicked it out on the full.
You give the credit there, don't you, Tone?
Byron Pickett.
Yep.
He never gave up, did he?
But Harley should have known, yeah, that's the one thing about a footballer in these conditions. He had a lot of time. He should have known the pressure was coming to. You have to get rid of the ball quicker, but, yeah, great chase and tackle from behind.
Typical bomb from Blakey, but that one just drops a bit short. Stephen King with the grab. He's going to go the torpedo as well, off the side of the boot. Scholl versus David King. Well rode by Kilpatrick. Tried to get the handball away. David King again. Stolen by Scholl. He's been one of Geelong's best. Had the time to get through the maze. Onto a left footer. That was handy. Ling. Tough for the Cats down there. 2-on-1. Archer. Riding it was Enright. Just couldn't keep his feet. Spriggs with the extra pace. Archer with the extra strength. Dived and got the ball through from behind.
Great play. Great play by one. He's been very good today. You can just see, you think Spriggs has got him.
Gone, wasn't he?
Yeah. And he just kept his body here at the contest a little bit quicker.
Oh, yeah.
Great play. Then just those marking contests. Blakey, who's played as a loose man in defence, has had 6 marks. The next highest is 3, so they've done it better, the Kangaroos.
Mark taken by Burton. He controlled it pretty well. Stephen King, the battle between the two monsters has been an interesting one. Burton and Stephen King, you would think that both of them would struggle in these conditions, and they have, but it's been a good contest. Caught with the football there. Certainly had plenty of chances, David King, to get rid of it. And the free kick will go
I just thought that
Corey.
Sorry, Rob. I just thought that David King might have an impact on this game because he was a loose man in defence in the second quarter, so he'd be fairly fresh. He didn't have to do a lot of work. He just sat behind the play. He's had a few possessions, but on that occasion didn't get rid of it quick enough. 4 in this quarter so far.
Corey goes wide, and the mark is taken there by Milburn.
You got to wonder about going short to the wet side of the ground, don't you?
Milburn wider still. Murphy taken to the ground. Sinclair. Mitchell White trying to provide a shepherd. Gee, it's hard to keep that desperado out of the play, Anthony Stevens.
Oh, I love these conditions.
Yeah,
you just look at him, he said, this is like Tatslotto to me when he drove to the ground.
I think most young people can really take a leaf out of his attitude. His attitude is magnificent.
And he's not quick now as he was when he was younger, but he's lost a bit of speed, but this suits him down to the ground.
Out of bounds again. Don't forget i7sport.com.au, and you can catch all the latest AFL news, tribunal cases during the week, and the ladder and the details after all the matches are played. The Cats making a change. White off, Bizzle on. Meantime, the ball's back into action. Spriggs takes a good mark with Pickett bearing down. And again, they go back to the wet wing. Spider Burton interfered with in the back. We've talked about what a great game he's played.
Well, I dipped my lid to Spider because I just thought, well, have a look at him. He's 7 foot. You wouldn't think the conditions would suit, but he's done very well.
And a well-placed kick. Positive lead from McKernan. Ripped it down like it was a dry day. Wants to unload. It wasn't a great torp. In fact, it was pretty ordinary, but you can't blame him. Riccardi did try and go. Didn't have anywhere to go to, really, or certainly his kick doesn't end up to the advantage of the Cats. Mickey Martin, he'll send the ball back towards centre-half forward. Carey. Right over the top. Pressure on the Cats here. The handball was very good there. Scholl gets it away. Enright hugs in the chest mark. Not pay. Milburn gaining ground along the line. This is Bizzle. And he's out. Would you have paid that mark to Enright or not?
Well, I think in the conditions, yes, I would. Clint Bizzle, 1 possession for the game. Very quiet.
Been off for quite a bit of the game, in fairness. Burton gets to the front against King. King, you'll give him that tap. Joel Corey. Simpson, lovely little give. Harvey off the instep. McKernan weighted down, went off the ground. We saw a couple of sliding goals in the first quarter. Riccardi with Scholl in support. He knew he had Scholl in support. Did it well. Now Murphy will need to apply the shepherd here, and he does that well. Allowed Scholl to gain some ground, and not a bad result for the Cats.
Gee, you are right, Robbo Warhudder. They're playing through that wing, which is making it very hard. The ball just sits into the water, and we can see Dennis Pagan there. He'd be quite happy at the moment. He'd like to score a goal because one more goal really could blow this game apart.
Geelong haven't kicked a goal, Tony, since the 7-minute mark of the second quarter. So it's dried up quite drastically for them. On the other hand, well, the opposition have only kicked 6, but in these conditions we thought that a goal was worth at least a couple, maybe 3. So, and as the players get more tired, while the game continues, it's going to be even more difficult. Makepeace did a good job there, and it took a good safe mark. Kicks the ball in towards half forward. McKernan couldn't take it, but his recovery not bad at ground level. King, Ling the tackler, running into all sorts of trouble. It was Archer. Now the ball spills for Ling. He can't get it out into the open. Clayton, his kick has been marked by Simpson. Back onto the favoured left. Didn't kick it quite as well as he would have liked. The attempted smother was from Corey. May have been Enright, actually. Pickett's kick, a little too high. Idea all right, but had a little bit too much on it over Shannon Grant's head.
50.
Mark taken by Scholl. 50-metre penalty for not coming back when first asked to do so by the umpire.
Well, I don't think Dennis Pagan would be happy with that kick from Byron Pickett. Should have gone towards goal. Just keep hanging on, especially in these conditions. It just makes it so hard. So, yeah, probably there for the umpire.
Scholl. Tough for the Cats here. Oh, Colbert got mauled by Bizzle. Doesn't get a free. Could have. Waiting down Houlihan. Off the left, Mooney. Good kick into the square. Almost the mark to Corey. Was he held? No. Houlihan trying to go up the ground. He missed it. Blakey didn't. And he finds his target.
See, the thing is, the other thing, that most of those players going to that end of the ground where Geelong are kicking to are aware that the ball's going to fall short. But trying to correct yourself in running
very hard
with the footing is extremely difficult as well.
I think David
King's having a spell, boys. Corey Jones having a run again.
And maybe Dennis Pagan just getting a message to him to not hang on to the ball quite for as long as he has. 6-6 plays 3-6.
Yeah, he's okay. He's back ready to come back on. So
I think you picked it right there, Hutto. A couple of times have been caught with the ball. Just get it on your boot and get it forward.
Brad Scholes had 20 possessions for Geelong. Simpson 18 for the Kangaroos. Oh, that beat the lot. Harvey, who was very busy early, he's had 19 possessions now. Well placed kick to Carey. He's got Grant running past him. They're streaming forward. It's an open goal square. He's going for home. Oh, unless he tried to wait it for the running Shannon Grant. I think he was having a shot. He misses away to the left. 6-7 to 3-6.
Just rushed that a little bit then, did he, on that occasion? I wonder if he could have kicked it from that far out. I know it's 50, but he's got a wind behind him, and that's off one step. And it bounces only once and it's over the line. Maybe could have had a shot on goal, but no one was in the goal square, so thought he might run it through.
King back on, boys, and pick it off for the Kangaroos.
19 points is the lead for the Kangaroos. Knocked away. Sinclair was there, so Stevens. Ling for the Cats. The spills there to Corey. Now King getting into the action straight away. Kick not all that effective, but he puts it into the danger zone, and the desperado Archer is there, but the umpire's found a free kick, and it looks as if it's going to Graham. He's between fullback and centre-half back. The kick was intended for Scholl. Archer's there for the Kangaroos.
I think that David King kick, he just got the message from the coach, I'm getting on the boot. I don't want to go off the field again. And he just didn't balance enough because he wanted to get it, like I said, get it onto his boot quickly.
Grant off and Watt onto the ground for the Kangaroos. Sanderson being slung as he kicked, but got it away. Colbert couldn't take it. Just feel it's just getting even more difficult now. Colbert taken to the ground. In dispute at half forward.
Well, I guess the ball's well and truly waterlogged by now, isn't it? We had that window at the start of the quarter. Where
Robbo was right. They're going to get tired. The last quarter will really be a slug. And as we see, Ronnie Burns come off Hawk. And Clark back on.
So an important stage of the quarter. It's been pretty much a stalemate so far for what is effectively 2/3 of a quarter. And the ball is getting tougher to handle. Good work by Archer. Kilpatrick, did he get a hand to it? No, he didn't. The mark taken by Harvey, who's been tremendously damaging. He's only kicked 1 goal 3.
And a good player.
Played a terrific game.
Good player.
But obviously he's had a lot of the ball in the forward 50 if he's kicked 1 goal 3. And he's had a lot of the footy around
this
the ground.
player's been good too. Archer's
Yep.
been very tough, and it just, Kilpatrick could have put the hand up maybe, just misjudged it, but Harvey's been a very good player today. Interesting, 6 goals in the first quarter, 3 in the second, so it is diminishing each quarter, so it's going to get harder.
Well,
a big goal this one.
0-0 on the, if we
That's right.
extrapolate that. Harvey should be able to score a goal, you would think, from 30 out. Only just clears the pack. It was away to the right and a behind.
Gee, his game, if he'd have kicked two, he missed from right at the end of the square, end of the goal square, and he missed that. Could have been terrific. Couldn't have 3 goals with about 23 possessions.
He's coming from Reservoir High. Extrapolate. Can you just go through? Give me that one again, Hutto.
Well, that is high-risk stuff by the Cats to come out of defence. He's going to have to hurry, Sanderson. Just got the kick away, but it goes to King.
Well, he got a bit of a hurry up from Dennis Pagan, and already he's had a couple of touches. Riccardi couldn't take that mark. That's the efficiency of the Kangaroos in these conditions, as distinct from. Riccardi gets another chance, kicks it out wide. Chance here for Enright. Should be able to beat Spider, but well, just his presence.
He had no one in support, though. The nearest 2 players were Kangaroos.
Gee, I think, though, if you've got Spider chasing, you might maybe try and get around the ground and handball around him or something, but you might. He's a young kid too, Corey Enright.
Boundary throw in forward of centre wing, far side. 6-8 to 3-6. Margin is 20 points. A goal here would be quite damaging for Geelong's chances, you would think. Simpson left it behind. Kilpatrick. Still a chance for Geelong. Kilpatrick pretty good. Got a kick away, but the Kangaroos are in the van here. It's Colbert. Well done. And a very intelligent little kick too for Clayton. Clayton to the commonly referred to as the laneway in front of the goals there. And it's a struggle, as it has been for most of the day. Scarlett dispossessed. Still there, Harvey hit in the face by an errant right arm there from Ben Graham, but the umpire has decided that he will ball it up, only a matter of 30, 35 metres from the Kangaroos' goal. Just got hit with that right hand. I don't think it was anything was intentional, because you can see him pull it back, but
could have been a free kick, though, couldn't it?
Could have nearly been, yep. So the umpire to ball it up. Just absolutely dismal conditions here all day at Shell Stadium. Harvey kicks it in towards full forward. Chance here for Spriggs. Carey is there. Spriggs, not a bad little kick in the circumstances. Scholl shrugs the tackle, gets the kick away. Martin knocks it clear. Sinclair, Bizzle the tackler. Still Sinclair, ducked his head. He's going to get a kick though. Maybe a little fortunate. Watch the head go down when he shrugs the tackle here.
If that was dry weather, it would have been holding the ball, but he gets out nearly a trip.
Watch the duck. That's the most dangerous thing he can do.
He could do, or the opposition player.
Sorry?
The opposition player, or...
Look, I don't think in those conditions there was much that Jason Mooney can do. But the young fella with the ball, as soon as he does that, he's going to bring himself into a position where he can suffer enormous.
He's cut his head, no doubt.
Plenty of blood here, Shorey.
What would worry me would be the head being hit and the neck being affected.
Had to be a free kick, but you're right, Robbo. He did duck his head. Lucky not to be caught holding the ball also.
Martin, a booming kick by Mick will go out on the full. So a free kick will be awarded down there to Geelong and will be taken by Murphy.
Well, there's only 4.5 minutes of actual play remaining in this quarter. It's been just 1 point scored, and that's been to the Kangaroos. In fact, 2 points scored to the Kangaroos and 1 to Geelong, so I'm completely wrong. The ball inside the 50, but not much score anyway. King, feeding it back. Clark, they made a meal of it. The Kangaroos have just put outriders out there, basically, haven't they? They've almost played it like a kick-in zone in their own forward line. And so when Geelong have tried to move it out, they've had people there, and they're still around goal. Simpson's kick is deep, and another behind on the board, which all helps.
Well, you know, they're 3 goals behind. They've held them this quarter. They haven't kicked the goal, so, you know, they've done their job, Geelong, but, gee, it's going to be hard to kick 3 goals in the last quarter when they've kicked 3 goals for the game.
3 goals plus, too.
Well, D. Hawkins tipped that 5 or 6 goals would win the game, and he's not going to be far off the mark.
Graham Well, it was a better kick in distance, but it goes straight to McKernan, but no marks of certainty today. Raleigh, great handball if you're a North Melbourne player. Went straight to Carey. Kick away from Colbert, deep into attack. Harvey's lurking again here. Late on the scene, that was Graham. Good spoil.
Gee, Lee Colbert's been good.
I tell you what, Shorey, just touching on Lee Colbert, mate. I think the crowd are sick of booing him, mate. And you're going to boo that occasion.
Well, if you get the ball a hell of a lot, they're going to boo a lot, aren't they, Dougie? So they hope they didn't have to boo him all day because he didn't have a possession, but he's played very well.
No doubt about that. There's a chance here for Jones. He's dragged off the ball, gathered by Riccardi. Gets reasonable impact on the kick. Carey plays it well, and that could be deemed as a throw, surely. And David King acknowledges that pretty quickly. McCartney and Milburn just having a little to-do.
Yeah, you can't scoop the ball up from ground level.
The kick came from Mensch. Martin, who's been a solid, really has. Difficult for the Geelong side to get past him. Well done by Bizzle. Now's a chance. Burns has got to be able to do something with this. Ronnie Burns, run down by Makepeace. Ronnie Burns gets another chance. Ronnie Burns will go in, and to the delight of the Geelong fans, he's got the goal they needed.
Well, Sinclair getting some treatment, and the crowd has come to life here. That goal from Ronnie Burns, some credit must go to Bomber Thompson because Burns had just come back on the ground, out of the middle. Blakey across half-back. So the Cats within 15 in this third quarter. Blakey, wasn't a great kick, but gained a lot of ground, so that's all that matters. Oh, Carey, loose. Not for long, though. Graham tackled him well. Didn't give away the free either way. Scholl went to ground. Good handball, out to David King, found a path, made good contact, just offline. So the Kangaroos for the quarter now, that's 4 behinds.
Well, I said that was against the trend, Hutto. The Kangaroos have gone in there 15 times for no goals. Geelong 5 times for that only goal of the quarter.
Again, Geelong going to that outer or wetter side of the ground. If there can be a wetter side of the ground on a day like today. They controlled it there. It's just a huge puddle out there, isn't it? Martin.
Lights are on here too.
Kicked it up to half forward. Yeah, the lights are on.
We'll be playing. This last quarter will be played in the dark.
Yep.
Huh?
Well, the lights, I guess, are strong enough for training lights, aren't they, for Geelong? So
didn't you say yesterday's game was quite dark, even though
it was.
The camera work indicates that, and that was where up at Carlton, up at Optus Oval.
Yep, certainly was. McKernan looked dangerous there. He was lurking. Spriggs went to ground. And another bounce to take place, or a throw up.
Just important that Geelong, what have we got? Just under 2 minutes left. I mean, North are looking dangerous. They just have to stop the Kangaroos from kicking a goal.
Yep.
And gathering the ball is Milburn. That ball will probably slip and slide all the way to the boundary line. And gathered by Corey. He kicks the ball out towards the wing. Gee, that's a top effort.
Oh,
that's a mark. Oh, dear me, in wet conditions, he was the man in front. He had 2 or 3 grabs at it and still not paid. Geelong an opportunity. Milburn's been pretty good. He got caught on this occasion. Murphy, what can Murphy do with the ball? He can kick it over his left shoulder and he can set up a chance. If Bench can gather, the hand pass is not bad. Scholl, the runners are there. The kick has got to be effective. It goes in the Burns area. It goes in the Burns area. Can he get out? No, he can't. Makepeace, well done. He made it difficult for him, and eventually Spriggs is taken over by Blakey, and the ball will be thrown in. 16 points the margin in favour of the Kangaroos.
Gee, the crowd lip when Ronnie Burns gets close to it, but he had no free kick. That was in the side by John Blakey, and good decision by the umpire on that occasion.
Only 50 metres now from the Geelong goal. The rebound goes back in the area of Colbert. Colbert plays the percentages, Byron Pickett, and eventually David Clark. Whoa, hang on, boys. No need for that.
Wonder what the umpire does here.
Yeah, what does he do? They both grabbing.
I thought Byron Pickett was nearly the aggressor on that occasion, but
I think Clark seemed to be initially, and then
just holding. Yeah. But see who throws who on this occasion. Well, half and half.
Yeah. Inside the last minute of
John Hutto, you go for it.
Third quarter, Kilpatrick played for a free. Oh, he caught one high. The umpire saw it. Tempers, good flare here. Well, Byron would want to be careful. He might give away 50. You can't afford to. Spriggs kicks it. There's only Kangaroo player back in the goal square. Colbert. I don't know why I had to he can get the binoculars up there.
He's having a ball, Lee Colbert. Yeah, Byron Pickett's just got to watch himself here. You don't want to give another goal away just through undisciplined play.
Well, Geelong have got 15 seconds in this third quarter. So Lee Colbert, if he finds a man, that'll be the end of the quarter. He doesn't. Sanderson, still not much time left. Clock ticking. Siren sounds. Milburn decides to have a shot anyway. Well, what is in store for us in this last quarter, which will be coming up? A very interesting quarter. The Kangaroos fall behind. The Cats kick 1-1. Quite amazing that is a three-quarter time score. 6-10, 46 to 4, 6:30. And as we go to the break, over the years, we've seen some great action on Channel 7. Let's go back to 1985 and Andrew Buse as the Tooheys new 45 years of footy on 7. Will the Kangaroos hold on in the rain and the darkness? 6-10, 46 to 4, 6:30.
The AFL, in association with its premier partner, Carlton and United, proudly presents the 2001 Premiership season.
Dougie with Norm Dare.
Yeah, thanks, Hutto. Norm, it's going to take a gutsy performance. 16 points down. A big arc, isn't it, really?
In the weather it is, but we're pretty confident. We felt we had to keep them without kicking a goal that quarter. We've done that, so there's a pretty strong breeze out here, and gee, when you're kicking with the tight end, the wind, you can come home.
Norm, how important to get the ball out of the guts, out of the centre?
Yeah, well, that's what's going to get it down there quickly. You know, they flooded back in the second quarter and bottled us up a bit, so hopefully we'll remedy that this time and get it out quickly.
Norman, good luck, mate. Thanks for joining us, buddy. Back to you, Hutto.
Thanks, Dougie. A big ask for the Cats in the last quarter. Timmy McGrath hasn't played a senior game for the Cats this year. It is really dark here, not to mention wet.
If you're going to miss a game, Hutto, this is the one that
yeah, it is,
misses.
isn't it? Talk about flooding in footy. 6-10 to 4-6.
See, the new ball that they bring into play now, if Geelong can get this out of the centre and get a goal very quickly, they have the impetus and they can still get up.
The Kangaroos might appeal against the light here in this last quarter. Training lights providing the only illumination as this last quarter gets underway. Geelong from 16 points back.
That ball wasn't dry for long, Robert.
No, it hit the ground very quickly, didn't it?
King and Burton. King, little tap down to Ling. There they are. They combine well, those two, don't they? Just interesting with the ruckman. Stephen King's had 6 possessions, 1 mark and 7 hit-outs. Spider Burton 9 possessions, 1 mark and 3 hit-outs. King just starting to perhaps get on top a little bit, but Burton's been great today. Mooney got distance on the kick. Almost can't see them down there. Mensch couldn't take it. Riccardi, good tackle on Shannon Grant. Mensch tried to go up the ground, make peace. Mensch trying to forge a way through. Got good support. Bizzle played it like it was dry. How could they leave Ronnie on his own? Oh, he took an eternity and he missed. Oh, no. Unbelievable.
You don't have to guess what he said either.
Fairly close, I think, was what he said.
He's dropped the mark, which you think he would have taken, and then he could have come round onto his left foot. He had someone in the square, but look, you've got to try and kick the goal yourself in these conditions, I'd say.
And that was the important start to the quarter that, you know, it was a little bit of good fortune maybe for him to be out there on his own, but not able to capitalise. Quite crucial.
Well, 30 metres on his own, you just got to wonder where Troy Makepeace must have gone to the contest.
And the ruck work being done at half forward. Not clear, but McCartney gathers, kicks back to the middle. Good safe mark. This bloke's played a fair game, Spriggs. And he can put some pressure on here if he can kick it to the front of the goal square. Not able to take the mark was McCartney. The ball still in the danger zone for the Kangaroos. Somehow they get a clear. Simpson to Jones. And then Jones goes for the boundary line and finds it, so it'll be thrown in. You can see, look at the rain. This is probably the steadiest and heaviest that it's been for all day.
Yep.
And that's not really ignoring the fact that it's been falling just continuously since about 9 o'clock, heavily since about 9 o'clock this morning. So right in front of the Geelong goal, they're badly searching, aren't they? Badly searching for their 5th goal, which could put some tremendous pressure on the Kangaroos. Chance here for Riccardi. Was a pretty good pickup. Kilpatrick back to Riccardi, and eventually taken over there by Cochrane. Took the ball and the player over the line, so it'll be thrown in just forward of centre wing, favouring Geelong, and those boys are a heck of a lot more comfortable than the 36 out there on the ground at the moment.
I don't know. I don't reckon I'll be one to be sitting on the bench this afternoon. Well done by Ling. Freed it up for Kilpatrick. 2-on-2 down there. Mooney is down. Makepeace tried to go off the ground. Still, it's inside 50. Scholl's been great. He fumbled that time. King kicked it out on the full, but he was held onto without the footy. Free kick to David King, who's had 19 possessions today and kicked 2 brilliant goals.
Free kick was there.
Yep.
Brad Scholl, you fumble and then you let the opposition in. And that's, he took his head off the ball and fumbled in the first occasion. And David King, I think I know where this ball's going to go, as close to the boundary line as possible.
Right onto the wing, McKernan, King, Burton. Good tap forward by King, Harvey. Well done by Ling. Geez, handled the ball well today. Corey through the maze, touch, the umpire calls play on. They all stood around knowing that if you actually go for the ball, you're probably in a worse scenario than if you just sit down and wait for it. Stevens bundled it out, trying to get boot to ball. Bizzle did get boot to ball. Oh, this is a chance now for the Kangaroos. McKernan, one-on-one Carey and Graham. That's a great mark under the circumstances.
Gee, it's a big mark because no one was between them and the goals.
Got to try and kick it to that gap over on the far side.
Went short, but there's plenty of Geelong players through the middle. Now, carrying the ball could be an advantage here for Harley, which he did pretty well. Little shove away by McCartney. Good tackle on Colbert. He went to ground. Play on. Kangaroo ball. Now a chance. Oh, well done, Byron Pickett. Backed himself and then just bombs it out to the outer wing. Now Harley, nobody near him. Good shepherding off the ball by Graham, keeping Carey away from it. Harley measured the pass, was touched by a Geelong player on the way through. Got a good little kick in there. Mooney couldn't hang on to it. He gained some yardage because he just couldn't get it back to a teammate. North have eroded 4 minutes successfully, and the margin is only 15 points. It was 16 at three-quarter time.
Well, everybody is in the Geelong half at the moment. Wayne Carey and Ben Graham behind play, the last players in line.
King to Martin. Martin kicks it across his shoulder, and McKernan has come down to take the mark safely on his chest. Goes out very wide. Mark taken by Carey. Just working it quite nicely along the boundary line to left half forward. The boundary umpire to throw it in. 6-10 to 4-7.
Well, that was a mistake from Wayne off one step, but it was a good mistake, a workable mistake.
So King, McKernan gets the front posse. King effectively. Ling has played pretty good around the packs. His kick to half forward. Mooney couldn't take it. McCartney keeps his footing, able to get the hand pass away to Burton. Burton just off the side ever so slightly. Jones, Simpson and Riccardi, and eventually both Simpson and Riccardi with the footy over the boundary line. It'll be thrown in once again.
Cameron Ling's played like a... Sorry,
sorry, Shorey. The vision down here, Shorey and Robbo and Hutto for the players, is probably the worst I've seen for a long, long time, mate. It is real dark down here.
Well, of course, the wonders of modern technology and the cameras, you really can't get a clear indication. There's a free kick pulled out for Geelong. Just how dark it is.
Plucked that from nowhere.
Joel Corey takes it. And again, every player is forward of this contest. He was going to play on by going for a short pass. Now he's committed to it. He goes to Harley. Probably wasn't bad if he can find Graham on this side, which is what he does. Graham didn't wait. Went for the top. It was a nice scrubber of a kick. Gets them to 50, though. Kangaroos fighting over that one. And Sanderson takes the mark. He plays on straight away, sending it deep. Mitchell wide in the contest, or Mooney it might have been. Sinclair back on the ground, got the handball away. Pickett cleverly got it off the ground. Oh, Kilpatrick almost took the mark. Blakey took the ball away. Oh, it's getting dangerous here. Kangaroos with numbers on the wing. Stevens is told to go all the way. Went for a pass instead. No mark to Harley. Still the Kangaroos with numbers, but the Cats able to clear it. Kilpatrick had a lot of time on his side then. Got it up towards King. Free kick to Geelong. Byron Pickett doesn't like it. Milburn takes it quickly. He was going to go short, but he went longer in the end. McCartney not able to take it. Makepeace is caught, drops it. Mooney could have a shot from here. Does have a shot. He's just off the line, and it's out of bounds, which is probably a better result for Geelong than a behind.
Well, this is the thing that I was talking about during the second term. The players just get tired, leg weary. The kicks don't go where they wanted to. They slip off the side of the boot. They don't go as long as they do. And you really have to just concentrate ever so hard, if possible, in the dying minutes of the game. Not that we're in the dying minutes, but 14 minutes left. And that 15-point lead that the Kangaroos enjoy is just like diamonds, like platinum, really.
7 times into their 50, the Cats to 0 from the Kangaroos. That was always going to happen, wasn't it, this early in the game? Oh, in the quarter, sorry.
Kangaroos through Pickett is prepared to concede a behind.
What do you think about that, Jory?
Well, if it meant that it was going to make it an even 2 goals, that was, you know, so what have we got now, 14 points? It doesn't matter. Anywhere, if it was even 2 goals, I wouldn't have said give the point away. But anyway.
But the kick in from the behind's not going any distance either. I mean, it's probably, at this occasion, it's landed outside the 50, and they are a chance to clear through McCartney, close to the boundary line. It rolls over with Adam Simpson on the scene. 14 points is the lead for the Kangaroos.
Don't forget i7sport.com.au. You can check all the tips. There's tipping competition on i7 Sport, and just see how terrible the commentators are at tipping. They're probably as bad as everyone at the moment, struggling. Hard to pick a winner at the moment, but the Kangaroos look the winner in this match, unless Geelong can kick a couple of goals and maybe a few points, and that's maybe where those conceded points could come into it, Shorey.
Anywhere between 12 and 17 points, you can give a point away, but once you get the 2 goals straight, it means they have to have 2 kicks instead of 3 kicks on goal.
Milburn trying to come in as the second ruckman. He got the ball too. Murphy been pretty quiet today, but lobs that one in the danger area. Still it's in the danger area. Mooney.
That's all right.
A good pressure. Spriggs clever with the soccer. He has played a great game today. Couldn't finish it. Burns overran it. Makepeace cleared it. Not for long. Murphy. Good mark. Really top mark. You'd have to question whether he was within range or not.
Well, it was a good mark because he had Glenn Archer bearing down on him, but kept his eye on the ball, as we can see on the replay here, as he has a shot for goal with a torpedo.
And misses, but gets her behind.
Deserved better.
So 4-9 to 6-10, and we're almost down to 2 goals.
Could have nearly taken a little bit more time to...
Yeah, I think it was only a set shot. Dry the ball.
Yep. So this kick-in drops in very short. An opportunity for Harvey. Oh, nearly a terrific mark. This bloke's played a pretty good last term so far, Harley, making it difficult for the Kangaroos to get past that half-back line. An indiscriminate kick at the ball is deemed as in danger.
I thought that was his own man, though, closest to that.
And Sanderson takes it and kicks it into the forward pocket. Blakey is there, kicks it back. Top effort. Running where you just don't know. You've got no idea what's coming at you. That was Greg Miller, the chief executive for the Kangaroos, on screen there. But that was terrific performance by young Clark there. And he'll shoot for goal. He will not score, I don't think. It's gone out of bounds on the full. You can still see the breeze very strong, blowing into that left forward pocket behind Geelong at the moment. So for the Kangaroos to score, look, what is it, nearly 2/3 of the ground. There is no one. So if they break from the half-back line, they would have to be some sort of a chance to score, but you've got to get clean possessions, and they're struggling to do that. Still at half-forward for Geelong. It spills out now. Very difficult to control the ball. Sinclair gets a little kick to it. King, Harvey. This is the break they're looking for. Carey. The ball bounced nicely for him. He kicked it forward. Chance now for Jones for the Kangaroos. He should score. He should score. No, he's kicked it out on the full.
Well, Ben Graham was playing in front of Wayne Carey. I think he has to do that because they've got to kick goals. You're going to be a bit unlucky that the ball goes over the top, as we see here, young Jones. Yeah, might have tried to pull it back to the top of the square a bit better. And the Cats bring it out now through Murphy.
Backs himself onto the wing. Bizzle. Mooney brought it to the front. Kangaroos looking for a free. Head down, bottom up, McCartney. Good shepherding. Took Stevens out of the contest. Graham, and it's out of bounds.
I still go back to that first quarter where maybe the Cats didn't have enough respect for the wind, I believe, and probably should have played another man loose in defence.
So we've almost gone halfway through this last quarter, and the margin is at 13, so they've gained 3 points. McCartney has been pretty solid back in defence. Takes his first mark of the day, but he's had 15 possessions and all the play forward of him. So if Geelong were to take a clean possession from this kick, then it really would open up for them with the Breeze behind them. It's going to drop short too. Spriggs, oh, he just couldn't hold it. King will be Shepherd. Oh, Scholl accidentally took it away from him then. And they made a bit of a meal of that, Geelong.
Well, the Cats now, they've got to keep the ball alive. They can't afford these ball-ups all the time. Just try and keep the ball alive as much as possible because they need to score quickly.
King removed Burton from the contest. Harvey versus Spriggs. Harvey clever off the ground. Graham forced to take it to the line. No, he didn't take it to the line. He did keep it alive.
Good kick,
clever kick, great kick. Free kick down the ground anyway.
Young Jones has been all right for the Kangaroos in his debut.
Scholl onto the wing. Bizzle has to go against Burton. Did. Martin. Well, it was an interesting variation from Mickey on his normal kicking style. Sinclair.
I don't think it was a variation, Hunter. That's normal, wasn't it?
It was a little bit.
Get it out of the area as quick as possible. Put someone else under pressure.
Looks like a bird flew over him, doesn't it, Sinclair? Burton. Stevens running into Milburn. Archer. Martin squeezed a kick out. This is a real scoring chance. Was he off? No. He might have thought that it was touched off the boot. He mightn't have been sure, Shannon Grant. Going back now anyway. And it's a pretty open forward line. Carey to take the mark. No. Graham did it. No, it's coming back. It's coming back. And this is all valuable time wasted for...
No, time on.
I know time on now, but just the ball being in the forward line for the Kangaroos. It's just great time erosion for them.
Every kick now has to be direct at goal. You can't even think about going wide if you're the Cats on this occasion, unless someone's 100 yards clear.
Well, Grant just gets it to the top of the square and longer. And it's through for a behind, which will be a handy behind for the Kangaroos. Just takes them out to that 14-point margin again.
That kick defied a bit of logic. That went 50 metres.
Oh, Shannon Grant's a pretty skilled player.
Into the breeze.
Yeah, maybe a bit of protection from the grandstand there.
Fair point, yep. So Graham to kick it back in. Scarlett limping. 14 points is the lead that the Kangaroos have right now. Geelong need to get the ball down, and that's one thing, to get it down there. The other thing is to capitalise.
I just reckon, Robbo, they've got to get 3 goals. It's going to be an enormous effort by the Cats to get 3 goals.
Yeah, well, you played a lot of football. I mean, the last quarter of these conditions, Doug, you are absolutely buggered, no doubt. Stevens just forcing it forward. Kilpatrick not able to take the mark. Does the right thing and clears the pack, but not quite far enough from a Geelong point of view. Kangaroos scramble on it, and it will be thrown in the air once again.
I said they might rue that first quarter, but then they might also rue that missed mark of Ronnie Burns when they had the chance of kicking that early goal in this quarter.
King and Burton again. We did see in the curtain raiser between the Murray Kangaroos and Geelong, the Cats reserves team getting up to, I think, kick 3 goals in the last 5 or 6 minutes in the similar conditions to win the game, amazingly, on the siren. So I guess while there's time, there's still hope, but that's an indication of the win. Burton. Cats getting it outside defensive 50. That's the first step, I suppose. Corey Jones around the body, sends it back in. And Shannon Grant is proving a danger in this last quarter. He also has kicked 1 goal 3. Brent Harvey 1 goal 4. Carey's kicked 1 goal 1. But once again, time is counting down. Shannon Grant has taken a mark and no time on blown. And he is just milking the clock. Sending it long. Almost a mark to Harvey, but it's out of bounds.
So you're right, Robbo. Young Corey Jones has been very impressive. One grab off the ground.
It was terrific, wasn't it?
Yeah. And the other person, Cameron Ling, too. Normally Cameron Ling's played as a key forward, has played nearly as a ruck rover today.
Carey just tries to take the ball from the ruck throw-in, The umpires decided to throw it in the air. Could have nearly been penalised, gathering and being caught with the ball, but the umpire giving him the benefit of the doubt. That's Mitchell White, just getting ready to come back on and maybe be an impact player for the Cats in the last few minutes. We're getting down now to 6 minutes left. It's just a task that is becoming even more difficult by the second for Geelong to get over the Kangaroos now. 14 points, even 2 quick goals, they would still be in arrears. 2 quick goals in 6 minutes is well, that's a big errand, isn't it? And they might need 3 because David King has kicked a great goal.
Well, David King has kicked 3 goals on a day like today. That is a magnificent performance. They've all been terrific goals, and the Kangaroos are just about home now. What a struggle it's been. And now they're going into overdrive. Harvey, well tackled. Murphy, he had a lot more time then than just to bang the ball. The Cats trying to get it moving at all costs. Here's Ronnie Burns. Somehow he got through, got a half kick away. Good shepherding, allows Ling to come through. He's wrapped up in a tackle.
He's played well, Anthony Stevens.
Throw call by the umpire.
He has played very well, this bloke.
Stevens has had 16 kicks and 7 handballs as most of the patrons at Shell Stadium start to leave. And they've done well to stay this long, if you ask me.
Oh, they're hardy, aren't they, supporters?
It is really pelting down now. As if once the match is decided, they've decided it's enough. Oh, terrific effort to take a mark from Shannon Grant. Not quite able to take it. Gets it out, though, to Sinclair. Is that a mark to Corey Jones? No.
When you give votes, you tend to look at the statistics. But Shannon Grant's 15 possessions and 1 goal. He's a quality player, isn't he? I mean,
just having the sting out of the ground suits him, Robbo.
Yep.
Like his leg speed's not very quick. Very smart player. But gee, these conditions really do suit him. And a very smart player.
King paddling it backwards for the Cats. It's out of bounds. Well, it's not quite out of bounds. Joel Corey. Geelong need to get it out of there if they're going to have any chance of getting another score. Their lowest score, incidentally, ever against the Kangaroos. 4 goals, 11, 35 back in 1958. So they're a chance to create some sort of history today.
I think it will happen, Hutto, because the ball presently is at left half forward for the Kangaroos, and we're down to 4 minutes left in the game.
Just going back to Shannon Grant, one advantage he's also got being a left footer. In wet, I know you should know your players, but in the wet you get a lot tighter, and you can't get to that area of the body. So being a left footer just gives you a little bit more time and space.
Fair enough. That's a kick out on the full. It may have come off the boot of Stephen King, I think. So Brent Harvey, football being retrieved by one of those just tough, hardened supporters that watch their teams in these atrocious conditions. Look in the background there, rugged up out there. The wet weather gear coming in handy today as Harvey kicks the ball well inside the forward 50. It's in the left forward pocket. Carey's little toe poke. Picked up by Stephen King, back towards the wing. No mark. Colbert. The kick was smothered beautifully off the boot. That was Bizzle, who's had a dirty day. Mickey Martin absolutely clean bowled. All 3 stumps taken there, Mick. Kicked out of there by White, not successfully. So the umpire will call for a ball up on the sponsor's logo.
In the context of the whole year, how do you put this result?
Very, very important for the Kangaroos.
Yeah, well,
in
important as getting a win, but I'm just saying, do you take a lot out of this game? It's pretty hard to, isn't it, really?
Is. Yeah, you can't really read form that well on it, can you?
I think from their point of view, it's just the players' preparedness to have a real red-hot go. I mean, last week against the Swans, they could have walked away with that with their heads down on their chest, but, gee, they've come back very, very well.
Yeah, I don't underestimate them because I think they always try. It's whether conditions suit. I think conditions suited the Kangaroos today, as Dougie Hawkins said.
So on centre wing, that's interesting, isn't it? That's like a dance troupe with the footy in amongst there. 5 or 6 players all on their feet. And the umpire prepared to acknowledge that the ball was are not going anywhere. And not going anywhere once again here, and the Kangaroos they'd be happy with this.
You know, you hear new terminology, Rob, about midfield rotations. Well, I don't think the coach will be sitting back today saying, well, our midfield rotation worked today. It's just a real slog out there, and it's body on body.
So true.
Dennis Pagan did say last week, in the preview today, that they one-on-one they were getting beaten. Hasn't occurred today.
No.
And they had to stand up, and that's one area he'd be very happy with.
Midfield flotation hasn't been back.
I'll tell you what, boy, you done a great job today, because I can't from this area tell who's who from... It's unbelievable.
Well,
so dark here.
How do you know we can, Duck?
I'm just taking the punt. You're getting it right.
Oh, there. There's a lot of guesswork up here too, mate. Don't worry about that.
7-11 to 4-9.
Now, who's that, Hutto? It's Dennis, Dennis, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Dennis.
Unbelievable.
King. Stevens. Free kick. Which way? Yeah, it goes to Anthony Stevens. 24 possessions, so well, Dennis Pagan's going to maintain his record, isn't he? Never lost more than 3 in a row. Benny Graham. Well, Graham's been really good, probably, since quarter time, but that first quarter, Carey kicked a goal and did a couple of really constructive things for his team.
Yeah. He's had to play in front for most of the times they've kicked with a breeze, because they've got to try and kick goals, and you've got to take a punt that they don't kick the ball over the top of his head.
Milburn late on the scene for the Cats. Simpson handballed it straight to Kilpatrick. Martin, good score from Bizzle. Cats just trying to get a late score. Having trouble getting a clean possession, let alone a score at the moment. Scarlett, Colbert. See if the crowd can still get a boo going if he gets near the ball. Didn't have to. McCartney, Burns, and it's over and out. A minute to go in this match from Shell Stadium. And what a terrific performance by the Kangaroos.
You know what would be a fantastic stat right now? How much of this last quarter has the ball been out of bounds? You know, how many times has that boundary umpire on that side of the ground and this side of the ground had to throw it in? And all of
19, Robbo.
19, is it? Well, all of that time is soaking up the clock, surely.
Actually just made that up.
Well, it'll be close, I'd say. And it would have been a target, I think, of Dennis Pagan. That has been, no doubt, as Hutto called, the heaviest wing. And to try and get it out as many times, it doesn't matter how many stop plays you have, just to bottle it up.
I mean, the amount of ball ups as well. Ling, maybe they might have... He might be... Maybe even in the dry weather, he might be able to play on ball, sure.
Well, I hope he grabs it as cleanly as he does in the wet weather, because at ground level, have had no trouble at all for Cameron Ling.
He's had 16 possessions today. In fact, he's done 11 kicks and 5 handballs, which would put him right up there with the most amount of handballs of any of the players today. Most of them have chosen to kick, as you would imagine. A couple of players have had 7 handballs. We're inside the last 30 seconds. Wet and wild it has been today down at Shell Stadium. And that is what you call dedication, isn't it? Staying to the bitter end to watch your team go down by 20 points in these conditions. So the Cats, after their great start to the year, have got a few things to think about now, although as Shorey said, as Colbert kicks that out on the full, that might give the Geelong fans something to cheer about. It's hard to know how much you can read into a performance like today, but certainly the Kangaroos will be taking away all the positives. They have come out convincing winners in the end. And now it's just a matter of seeing out time as it counts down, and there's the siren. So the Kangaroos are on the board in season 2001 with a really gutsy, hard-fought, gritty win over Geelong at Shell Stadium in the wet, in the cold, and in the dark. But they've won by 20 points, and I think the players really embracing each other from either side. I think they all know what they've been through today, an experience and a half in playing in these conditions. And for Lee Colbert, a great triumph. He had an excellent game, one of his best with the Kangaroos, 19 possessions, and he's, more importantly from his point of view, walked away with a victory in his return to Shell Stadium. Brad Scholl and Wayne Carey, close mates. Some terrific individual performances from both sides, but particularly by the Kangaroos players. Cats coming slowly from the ground. Anthony Stevens, a marvellous player. 25 possessions for him.
I don't know how you measure,
possessions. And
yeah, because I just think he's a wonderful ambassador. He plays football like the club is just surviving off the ground. You know what I mean? It's like a last man standing thing with Anthony Stevens, I'm sure.
I think people call it, and I like the expression, urgency. And he's a veteran now, and he's still got that in his game.
Oh, terrific.
It means that you want to play the game, you love the game. No matter what you paid or how you go about it, he would still be out there doing what he does.
I agree with that.
This man had a great game, Lee Colbert too. He'd be very happy.
Yep. I think he's given it to a few Geelong fans. Do you reckon, if they're standing over the North Melbourne race?
I think if you just happen to get inside, get a hot drink and a hot shower, and it'd be a nice trip down the freeway or the highway.
He wouldn't know too much about those rooms, would he? The visitors' rooms at Shell Stadium. 14,298. The crowd here at Shell Stadium as the Roos get ready to sing the song, and they haven't sung it this year yet in the home and away season.
Hey! He hasn't come. Where is he?
Dennis.
Is he coming or not?
He's just about the end of the race, boys, so he won't be long.
I don't think they can hear you, Robbo. They're starting without him.
Come on, Macca. Come on, Macca. Start it.
And so just checking the final score at Shell Stadium, the home side always playing catch-up football after quarter time. The Kangaroos victorious 7-11-53. Geelong 4 goals 9-33. The margin was 20 points and a crowd of 14,298. And every one of those people also deserve 4 premiership points for being out at the ground this afternoon and supporting their clubs in absolutely atrocious conditions.